What's up, and welcome back to the Section 10 podcast, episode 506, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 76 and 77 third place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carrabis, and I am a certified G. I'm a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Tyler Milliken, and he killed his dog Bullet, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
Ooh, what up, Section 10 in the building?
What up, Section 10 in the building?
In the mother fucking building.
Fuck you for that. Usually that's my role. When Steve's not here, I get to come in. I've been practicing.
Presented by Blue Moon.
Sock One.
Produced by Jake Yazzie.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, Jake. I'm sorry, Tyler. Is your name Steve?
Is Steve here?
I said Steve. I said Steve. How you doing, Tyler?
Thank you. All I'm saying is last time Steve wasn't here, the responsibility was passed on to me. Basically, it was stated, if Steve dies and he's no longer here, it's my job to step in with it.
Was that discussed before this podcast?
I thought it didn't have to be said.
Well, Coley?
When Tyler starts assuming things, it usually goes awry pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me I didn't hit that shit, though?
I mean, you had you like Ashley Simpsoned it. You had like
what a topical reference.
Yeah. You had a track running on there.
Ashley Simpson?
Oh God. You know what? How do you not know who Ashley Simpson is?
What the fuck's Ashley Simpson?
I don't think that's crazy.
I think it's crazy to not know that. Jake, do you know who Ashley Simpson is?
I know the name, but I don't really know what she does.
You don't know the incident?
No.
No,
I guess we're just old now, Coley. Like that.
It happened on a show that wasn't even relevant during their primes, too. You know what I mean? Like SNL was cooked by the time they would have been old enough for it.
When did that happen? What year do you think that happened?
I'd say like 06.
That happened
Earlier.
Wow, really?
04?
Yeah.
October 23rd, 2004.
Yeah, it was during the World Series. The Red Sox were in the World Series when that happened.
Oh wow, I'm shocked we even know about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was such a cultural event at the time. Like, it was made fun of for so long.
It was. Things didn't happen as quickly back then.
Yeah.
Was she like a Disney Channel person?
Ashley Simpson is Jessica Simpson's sister. Do you know who Jessica Simpson is?
That's what I was worried of.
Yeah. Do you know who Jessica Simpson is, Tyler?
I feel like I remember her getting memed. Did she date Tony Romo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
I was going to say 98 Degrees, you know, Nick Lachey. They were married. They had a reality TV show. You don't know who 98 Degrees is?
I do not.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
98 Degrees?
The only reality TV I recognize is Jersey Shore.
Jake, do you know who 98 Degrees is?
No idea.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Jake. This is the best day ever.
I don't know. Like, I know who they are. I don't know that I can name a single song.
No.
Oh, it was a vocal group.
That's what,
They're wearing fedoras. I'm out.
That's what the kids were calling them. The top vocal group of the time.
They were a vocal group.
Section 10 out of context already has the Ashley Simpson video.
Who the fuck are these guys?
98 Degrees. Never heard of them.
Speaking of, I know Eminem hated them. That's about.
He hated all boy bands.
Sure, no doubt.
Yeah,
but them specifically, I don't know if it was.
No,
like
he hated NSYNC more.
With. No, definitely.
Yeah, Chris Kirkpatrick, you get your ass kicked. You obviously know who NSYNC is,
of course. JT.
Okay, I mean, like they were in. They like if NSYNC was the Yankees of the 90s, then 98 Degrees was like the Indians.
Okay, so I can make this work. For me and Jake, that's like One Direction. But then it would be like The Wanted.
No.
Then like The
What
Wanted.
do you mean?
You remember The Wanted?
No, I don't know.
Okay, I should have let you keep going. My apologies.
They had that song Glad You Came, that like one big song. Like people knew it, they were popular, but like they kind of fell off pretty quickly.
Cole, are you trying to say that like you don't know any 98 Degrees songs?
Are they the Abercrombie and Fitch people?
No, that's LFO.
Okay, so then no.
What?
No, I mean, I don't think they were Cleveland baseball good. Like, and I also don't think NSYNC were the Yankees. That was Backstreet Boys.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They were bigger than NSYNC?
I believe record
I
sale-wise
believe
they
they sold more albums because
right.
they weren't as they didn't have a talented enough solo artist. Like NSYNC blew up, and then Justin Timberlake was like, "See you later."
No, that's
fucking
not
losers.
revisionist history. If I've ever heard it,
That's not true. Who from the Backstreet Boys broke off and
no. You're trying to make it seem like NSYNC made one song and JT was like, "I'm way bigger than this shit."
No. NSYNC.
They went toe to toe, and NSYNC typically got put in a box.
Wasn't Aaron Carter's brother in the Backstreet Boys?
No
Yes,
strings
Nick
attached.
Carter.
No strings attached versus Millennium was. I mean, that was like Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson in his prime. Like there's no clear-cut winner. It was just like, here are the two GOATs of their time going head-to-head, and there's no winner. It's just like, you both are the GOATs. But Backstreet Boys sold more records because they didn't have a Justin Timberlake. They were like, we're nothing without each other.
That'd be like the Jackson 5 wasn't as good as the Temptations because they had Michael Jackson. That's such a bad point. Like,
that's not a bad point. I'm saying the Backstreet Boys stayed together longer. They sold more records because they stayed together longer. So NSYNC broke up because Justin Timberlake was like, "See you later, losers."
To Milliken's point, Nick Carter was massive. Like, I know he didn't have this.
He didn't have a solo career.
But he tried one just because the solo career
didn't. His brother did. Aaron Carter did.
That's even
rest
a bigger point.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Nick Carter was so big that even his brother got to eat off of him. Like that. Nick Carter was massive.
Yeah, he was the heartthrob, but he didn't have a solo career.
He tried one as
well. No, he didn't.
He absolutely tried one. He for sure put out a solo album. 1,000%.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
1,000%.
Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is a simple. Jake, look this up while we're talking about Underdog.
3 studio albums.
What?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Coley, name one fucking song, dickhead. Name one Nick Carter song.
That wasn't the point. That wasn't the point at all.
Oh, yeah, it is the point.
That wasn't the point.
That is the point.
No, it wasn't. JC Chazé tried a solo career too. That was not the fucking point.
Yeah,
you said he didn't even try one. You were wrong, and you go, why weren't the songs big? Yeah, exactly. That's the fucking point.
Yeah, that's why they stayed together. That's why Backstreet Boys stayed together.
They broke up at the same fucking time.
No, they didn't. They're still touring to this day.
So's NSYNC. They just got back together for the fucking Trolls movie. No, they just did a fucking movie together.
NSYNC hasn't toured together since 2003.
They just did a movie together.
Oh, a movie? That's not a tour.
They got back together. What are these definitions?
Jake, when's the last time NSYNC went on tour? Look that up.
I think it was 03.
Yeah. Make entries of all baseball or mix and match across your other favorite sports so you can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. I think if you were to look at them at their, it's kind of like, all right, here's the comparison.
Hold on really quick.
Yeah.
I Googled NSYNC Tour. There's a website called NSYNCTour2024.com. No free ads.
Come to a Christmas party.
I click on it and it says catch Joey Fatone or Justin Timberlake live on tour in 2024. And at the very top, it says not an official website.
They're never going to do it.
Well, JT's going through it. He just got the DUI.
They don't have the hits to do it like Backstreet Boys, which was the original.
What the hell? What is wrong with you? What do you have against NSYNC? They have so many hits.
Not as I believe, because I've looked this up before. I believe the two bands combined have one number one, and it is the Backstreet Boys, which is crazy. You would have thought.
Wait, what? Hold on.
One number one song, not album. Well, it might be both. I don't know if
that can't be true. That cannot be true.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of like TRL, where they were number one, constantly battling for number one on that. But in terms of like actual number one on radio,
no, there's no way. There's no way. How many number one Billboard hits did NSYNC have? How many number one Billboard songs did NSYNC have? Over the Billboard Hot 100, the quintet scored 6 top 10s and a lone number one hit. It's Gonna Be Me.
NSYNC's only number one single on the Billboard Top 100 was It's Gonna Be Me.
Wow.
Their longest charting hit on the Top 100 was This I Promise You from No Strings Attached, which spent 26 weeks on the chart in late 2000.
I mean, I'm reading this directly from Billboard. I know it's shocking.
Honestly, fuck Billboard then.
Backstreet Boys never had a number one.
Yeah, but exactly. So it's
right. Fair. They had 6 top 10s. What did NSYNC have?
Top 10 hits? 6 top 10s.
So 6 to 6?
Yeah. That's why I just said
NSYNC
it.
had the
Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. It was.
You said 16.
I did not say that. Jake, did I say 16 or did I say 6?
Sounded like 6 to me.
Yeah, I said 6. Idiot.
Quit Playing Games With My Heart got to 2. Which is, I mean, I'm proud of him.
Yeah, dude. Like, I Drive Myself Crazy. Peak Position, number 14. Come on. Pop, Dirty Pop. Yo.
What did that get to?
Number 5.
Yeah, it's shocking. It's shocking it wasn't higher.
You're good. Number 7. Girlfriend. Why won't you be my girlfriend? Number 5.
That was Nelly assisted.
I'll be the one to shine for you, girl.
So like,
I Want You Back. I Want You Back. That feels to me like that's a Jackson 5 song.
Rest in peace, Tito.
Thank you.
He just died. Like,
I Want
really,
You Back.
the body's fresh.
When I had you to myself, you want me around. That's a Jackson 5 song, but it's also apparently an NSYNC song that was at number 7. Number 7. It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you, but when we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel the pain with or without you. Number 6, Tearing Up My Heart. This I Promise You is obviously the GOAT in terms of like slow songs. Every word I say is true. This I promise you. Number 4. That came in at number 4. God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You. Number 5. And then It's Gonna Bang Bang. All that I do.
That's the only one I know.
Enough for you.
Yeah, none of the rest really stood the test of time.
But I'm not like that. Number one. And then Bye Bye Bye. Yeah, that was a number 1 hit. Peak Position number 1 for 10 weeks. Yeah.
So back in the day, was it like lame to listen to them if you were a dude? Like, you know, in 2010 and 2011.
Yeah, if you didn't want chicks, you know.
Yeah.
I was
so
the
you
only
got chicks
dude,
listening to it.
I was the only dude that was like, yeah, I fuck with NSYNC. And I was anti Backstreet Boys until like my girlfriend was a Backstreet Boys fan. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. If you like BSB, I'm BSB, girl. But I was always an NSYNC guy.
It definitely was, we use a different word for it, but lame is probably the PC word for it today.
Yeah, we had a different word.
I just picture like, you know, if you listen to Justin Bieber in the early 2010s or One Direction, there was probably similar
Sure, yeah,
wording.
definitely very similar. But it did switch to Jared's point, like, if you're at like the middle school dance, which I guess we're going to talk about every episode because this team fucking blows. If you tried to pretend you were too cool for it then, like, good luck, pal. Good luck touching any boobies.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you had to. You absolutely had to. I was ahead of the game on that.
Eminem, we were all listening to Eminem at the time, and he was not a fan.
No. No,
which was fair.
Did he use those mean words you were referencing?
He used
Not
some
him. No, never. No.
That's not him.
Yeah,
No.
Eminem ran through the you should use a tennis racket playbook on NSYNC.
Which have you watched the Woodstock 99 documentaries, Jerry?
Sure have, yeah.
They couldn't have made it clearer. Like, the masses really fucking hated those boy bands. Like, they spent like the entire first episode of the Netflix documentary being like, man, oh man, did people hate MTV because of how often they played these boy bands.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they have like blow up dolls of NSYNC and they like decapitated
beat
them?
The shit out of them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that wasn't even like a band. It was like the host of that day of Woodstock, too, who was doing it.
I think, was it when Korn played? Or no, Limp Bizkit. When Limp Bizkit came out, they were...
That's when they tore everything down, yeah?
Yeah. Well, in fairness, they instructed people to do that.
Listen, you have a song called
put
Break
it this
Stuff.
way. Limp Bizkit played Break Stuff, and then they broke stuff. And then the Red Hot Chili Peppers played Fire, and then they lit the place on fire.
To be fair to everyone, they handed out 500,000 candles.
Yeah. Yeah.
They made the song Californication.
Yes,
Very
they did.
same.
It
I've been
didn't
on a
exist
dad
at the
rock
time,
thing
though.
recently. I'm trying to learn.
That's not dad rock.
That's not dad rock? All right. You can boot me. Hand up. I'm trying to learn.
That's a
What
warning.
about the Goo Goo Dolls?
That's like pop rock. That's not dad rock. Dad rock is like...
Nirvana?
No, that's grunge.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's way weird.
Dad rock is what, like Def Leppard?
No, that's hair metal more than anything. Like, I don't think Chili Peppers is like crazy now to call them that. At the time,
No.
obviously, it would have been crazy.
What the fuck? I just
Creed?
Googled dad rock bands, and the first band that comes up is Nirvana. There's
Let's
no
go.
way.
No, I mean, you can't trust Google ever since they turned
No.
to AI.
You know who's second, though, Tyler? Bon Jovi.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that sounds right.
Guns N' Roses.
And
I don't
Bruce
know any of this stuff.
Springsteen is
Nope,
kind
that's
of
right.
dad rock.
That's
Yeah,
a
for
baseball
sure.
thing, right?
Led Zeppelin is here. That's classic rock.
correct.
It says Red Hot Chili Peppers, but that's wrong. Limp Bizkit is not dad. Like, who the fuck made this list?
That's a crazy
Is
list.
Sum 41 dad rock?
No, that's
for sure
like
not.
pop punk.
Like
Yeah, it's
alternative?
pop punk.
Yeah.
Dad rock.
Yeah,
Imagine being like, yo, like I just like started put on this Korn album, and it's like, oh, the classic rock.
At this
I
point,
think
though,
like-
it was 40 years ago, right? Like the 80s?
All right, calm down.
Korn?
Let's calm down.
I don't know. When was Korn? I don't
The
even know a Korn song.
90s, the 90s and the
Late
2000s.
90s,
30
early
years
2000s,
ago.
Yeah.
That's
20.
not. I mean, honestly though, like I feel like
You're mad at the time.
like
Fuck
like
you.
corn to like these fucking 20-something-year-olds is kind of like Led Zeppelin to us, like the distance.
For sure, definitely.
That's I hate that. I don't like that.
But they don't need to listen to Korn, truth be told.
No,
No,
I
you
mean, like,
disagree.
it's not like I'm like, yeah, like Korn is on my fucking Mount Rushmore of bands.
Sure.
No,
Sure.
but it
they had a
definitely.
moment for certain.
Oh yeah, they had
After
an era.
Follow the Leader, they were on top heavy. That
Yeah.
was that. That was what, new metal? Were they technically new metal?
Yeah, it was like them. I feel like Linkin Park is more new metal.
But even they came relatively so far after, because I know.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Korn was like mid 90s and Linkin Park was like early 2000s.
Right. That's what I mean. Back then, that felt like ages.
Yeah. The next decade when we thought
Right.
we weren't going to make it to the new millennium.
Sure. Yeah. Tyler
Yeah.
would have been. Oh, you would have been the worst Y2K guy. You would
No.
have been
What do you mean? You
terrified.
think I would
Tyler-
have believed?
Tyler would have been
Terrified.
in the bathtub with a toaster being like, you're not going to take me out. I'm taking me out, buddy.
They thought the world was going to just like all the computers were going to explode
Mhm.
when it hit
Planes
2000.
out of the sky, which I've said this before. It's crazy the planes weren't grounded, given how much of a panic there was about this.
Mm. Big time.
I don't think
panic.
it's that crazy. No one had been to 2000 before. What's going to happen to 3000?
It's crazy. They thought the computers couldn't count to 10. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was it just like an explosion? Like everything was just blowing
No,
up?
it was just like, what was it? Like something happened recently where all the banks and like computers crashed. It was like a month ago. And they were like, yeah, whatever just happened now is pretty much what we thought was going to happen during Y2K. Like we just experienced it for real.
They thought it was going to be total computer failure globally.
Yeah, like the internet gone. If you have banking that's only online, all your money's gone. Yeah.
And like we weren't gonna be able to get it, but like we thought we were going back to the dark ages. Like it was
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you may have a computer, but that thing is just taking up space in your house now. That thing is fucking useless.
Going to kill you.
My generation doesn't even like understand it though now. Now it's more of just like a swag or an era like Ice Spice, her new album's Y2K. Like they look at it as like a aesthetic.
Ice Spice?
You know who that is?
No.
She's a rapper.
I know who Sexy Red is.
It's crazy to know one of those and not the other.
Ice Spice is probably a little more mainstream big, but
definitely.
Ice Spice is bigger than Sexy Red?
Mm-hmm.
Nah. Jake, fact check that.
Jake would be a good person to also confirm this.
Yeah, Ice Spice's bigger.
How do you know that? Let's look it up. Let's look up the IG followers.
Well, Ice Spice has been, struggling recently due to the Ozempic allegations.
This is going to be a blowout, you say?
I think so, yeah. One's been just famous longer.
That's fine. Sexy Red had a meteoric rise. 11.3.
Not incorrect.
What are you doing, monthly listeners?
No, Instagram.
What's Sexy Red's Instagram page?
Sexy Red 34.
That was way too
How do you know
Jake,
that?
cut that out. Cut that out.
Way too
Is that it?
I don't know. Hold on. Sexy Red.
No, I don't think so.
It's what?
She's shadow banned?
Where the hell?
I mean, she may have gotten taken down after her Shannon.
No,
shot
I got it. I think,
Is it
right?
671? No, 4.6.
4.6.
So almost triple.
I really think
guess
her and
so,
Kodak look cute together. I ship them.
Sexy Red. Let me get a look at her. Yeah. Whatever.
Red Sox lose 2-0.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, Red Sox lose. Zach Littell shoving it.
Would you?
Former Red Sox, Zach Littell.
Mhm.
Thank you, Dave Bush.
Even knowing how it ended, would you go to Woodstock 99, Jared?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I'd be there tomorrow.
No. Maybe I would pick a day. Like I would look at like probably day 2. Like I would go to the Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I think day 2 was what? DMX, Limp Bizkit, Korn?
They don't talk about DMX at all in the Netflix one. The HBO one they do.
Yeah, I think day 2 was DMX, Limp Bizkit, Korn. I would have gone to that. But then by day 3, everyone was drinking their own piss and shit and lighting each other on fire and killing each other at raves and stuff. So that's not my scene personally. Yeah, I think I would have gone for one day and left. Tyler?
Why were they drinking their own pee and poop?
They like ran out of water. All the like sewage was like backed up. They were like dumping over porta potties. Everyone was, there's no shelter. They were on like it was like an airplane hangar base.
Yeah,
they were
on tarmac, basically.
Yeah, there was no shelter. There was
Seems
no
like hell
clean
on
water.
Earth.
Everyone was like drinking bacteria infested water. Yeah.
Every single person they interviewed that went to it was like, I'd go back in a second. Like at the end, after all the carnage, they were like, best 3 days of my life.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just not like, I don't even like to go camping. Never mind that.
Sure.
So
No doubt. They were going to do, what would that have been? The 50 year? When we were still living in New York and I was going to go. And then they they got like a year out. They were like, we know we can't do this, and they canceled it. But they like, let me see. I remember they put out a lineup.
Yeah, I mean, like Woodstock, they like Coachella. Like, it's not like they don't do these huge festivals. They just don't want to call it Woodstock because yeah, like they've put on similar festivals, but it's not smart to call it Woodstock because I feel like the crowd would be like, we know what goes on here. Like, we gotta, like, yo, you thought 99 was crazy. Like, we're about to burn this shit to the ground. And they're like, we already did that.
Well, 94 was no walk in the woods either. Like, that one it rained, and they also flooded the porta potties, so the mud and the shit became one. So you didn't know what was what. And then they're like, let's run it back. Let's run it back in 99.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think 99, our generation's music peaked at the same time in 99. So you had all these bands that were peaking all at the same show. Like, when all their biggest hits that we still play to this day were all like pretty much new songs. It was just crazy.
I mean, yeah, 99's when I believe DMX went platinum twice.
Yeah.
The last person to do that in any genre.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Kid Rock, I think was day 2 as well.
Kid Rock was there for sure.
Mm-hmm. That was like before it was controversial to be a Kid Rock fan.
Oh no, he was massive. I mean, I think that was like maybe just rookie season, 99.
Like Sweet Home Alabama?
It was around there, but like now it's like if you say that you're a Kid Rock fan, it's like, oh, so you're voting for Trump. Like back then, you could like Kid Rock and it was all good.
Yeah, you didn't know he grew up a multi-millionaire back then.
Good old Bob. Red Sox lose 8-3. You know when you discover a new binge-worthy show or a song that you bump on repeat and you have to share it with your friends so they can experience just how awesome it is? That's kind of what it feels like when you discover that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. It's such an awesome deal. There's no way that you can keep it to yourself. Ever since Tyler switched to Mint Mobile, the results have been amazing. He doesn't overpay for wireless, which, that's more money for Martha, right?
Exactly.
All that money you've been saving on Mint Mobile. Now you can get Martha flowers. Yes.
99 date night, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you and your squad with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. $15. Think of all the things you can buy at the 99 now that you're saving all that money. All plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk, and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. That seems like a very convenient deal, Tyler. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer's offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, you go to mintmobile.com/section10. That's mintmobile.com/section10. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/section10. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower than 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. You know what's crazy is that, like, the Red Sox, like all that time we were talking about, like the Red Sox just need to get to that twin series and be like close. They still did it. They suck and they still did it. And it's not even like it's not a credit to them. It's just, man, does the American League suck.
The Twins are 2-5 in their last 7 games. Like, I'm kind of happy. I can't even lie that they're 4 games out right now going into the series because they didn't deserve to be in it where they could even sweep. They don't. They don't deserve it whatsoever.
No, they don't deserve it. And what if they do? What if they sweep this series? It's not going to matter.
The Tigers.
That's it.
Yeah, the Tigers and the Mariners.
And the Mariners are 2 games out of you.
Yeah.
The Mariners are a disgrace, dude. I know I do this every year, but what the fuck, man? Like,
Just
trying to steal home with the bases. I'm not even talking about the Julio stuff. That was Bush League.
That could happen to anybody. Yeah, that could happen to anybody.
What unethical hoops by Austin Wells, dude. What is your problem? Man almost died. You throw him out? The fuck is that? But
that's
Victor
low
Robles,
class. That's low class is what it is.
No class. No class. Victor Robles trying to swipe home was indefensible. Like, indefensible.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they went on to lose, what, like 6-1 that game or something?
Sure, but they lost it.
At the time, it was close.
It was the first inning.
Okay. And then
Victor Robles has also been like the best player on that team, arguably the entire season, which is pretty ridiculous.
Who, Robles?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Offensive player.
He's basically been Julio, like, as you know, not actual Julio, but as close to, you know, being something to that team, you know, on both sides of the ball.
By the way, speaking of Julio, because I had people say it to me today, the Mariners don't regret that contract at all. Now, if they had just given him $400 million, yeah, I'm sure they would be like pulling at their neck collar right now. They didn't. What's the minimum he can earn there? It's like 140 or something. Like, it's a crazy wide range.
Guaranteed 12 years, 209.3.
209. So that's less than 20 a year. Well, less than 20 a year. If he broke his leg tomorrow and never walked again for some reason, that's fine. So anyone who's like, oh, you can't sign these guys before they prove it. A, they signed him after he had already proven he belonged at this level. B, that shouldn't scare teams. Like, the Mariners obviously have no money. Or no ability to sign people. They need to do stuff like that. Other teams that have real ideas about what it looks like to compete should not be afraid to do stuff like that.
I thought that it would start a trend of other teams doing similar contracts. We haven't seen it yet, but it makes the most sense. It's like, you still get a shit ton of money. You can earn a shit ton of money if you are a superstar.
Right.
You're guaranteed a shit ton of money, but you can, like, pretty much triple it?
I think double.
Double.
Yeah, you can double it if you're just an absolute beast and start winning MVPs or finishing close to it. I mean, I'm signing that shit. Sure. Why not? And then the team will be happy to pay it if you earn it.
Thrilled.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I like, who would be next in line to sign something like that? I guess like Jackson Holiday, maybe.
He's been so bad so far, though. It's like, say what you will.
Fucking 11 years old.
I'm not crapping on him, but like,
You're
Julio's
crapping on the
rookie
guy.
season, he had a 147 OPS plus. Like, he was nuts.
Brother. He's 11.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Did Merrill get a deal?
No, but he would be someone, Gunner as well, like if you were going to kind of have those conversations.
Did Witt just sign a big deal?
Yeah, Bobby Witt
But like
Jr.
an
got
outright,
it.
like there was no escalators or anything, were there?
There might be, but the floor was way higher.
Oh, yeah. He's like,
no, for sure.
A butt ton of money, guaranteed.
Like
11 years, 288.8 guaranteed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a butt ton.
Even Tatis just got like 314 or something like that.
Tatis got what, 330?
Was it 330?
Yeah.
It was like 14 years. Or maybe that's what
340.
14 years.
340. Yeah, I knew it was a round number.
Yeah, the Padres didn't know you could do it this way.
Yeah. I mean, Preller doesn't give a fuck.
No, but their owner was on the way out, so he was like, sign everyone to, I don't care. I'm not going to be here
Xander Bogaerts, take every dollar we have. Judge said no. Trey Turner said no. Fuck it. Give it to him.
Judge was like, you gave Xander what? Like, there's no way this is real money.
Xander said that.
He's like, I would sign for that, but I have no faith that you guys are actually paying American currency.
Oh, no.
$280 million for Xander Bogaerts. That's just crazy to me.
God bless America.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Xander. I'm happy he got literally double what he was worth. Crazy.
100 mil more.
Speaking of
He
Xander
wanted that
Bogaerts,
Altuve extension. That's like 150. You know, during spring training that year, if you'd actually paid up.
Listen, we said no repeatedly.
yeah,
And spit in his face.
yeah. Speaking of Xander Bogaerts, we were talking about going on vacation, and Mexico came up. And
You
I
and
was like,
Xander?
yes.
Can I come?
And I was like, why wouldn't we just go to Aruba? Like Aruba, if you wear a Red Sox hat in Aruba, they're like, Xander Bogaerts. You know Xander Bogaerts? Like, I can say, I know him. I know him like Santa. I'm not getting any special treatment in Mexico. If I go to Mexico, like, I'm afraid to leave the country.
You know Verdugo? You know Duran?
They're like, yeah, to prison you go. Like, can't they just like make shit? Like, I feel like you could get arrested so easily in Mexico, and then
You don't
there's
get
no
arrested
rule.
in Mexico.
Yes,
That's
you
not how that
can.
No, you get.
Oh, yes,
taken
you
by
can.
The bad
Oh,
people.
Tyler. Yeah, no.
In
I
Mexico?
don't know. Yeah, I don't think
That's
you should
where
be
the
going.
cartel is really
Yeah, that's
heavily.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Is
like,
that the police?
It's lawless. Yeah, they can just throw you in the clink and throw away the key, and it's like, well, what did he do?
I mean, they
Doesn't
could do
matter
that
what he
here.
did.
That's they could do
Good
that
take.
here. That's not
Cartel's worse
crazy
than the
thing.
police.
I understand that, but that's Mexico. If you go
They
to
don't fuck
Aruba,
with the tourism dollars down there. That's like where are you going?
I'm
I guess,
afraid.
is
I'm
the-
afraid to go there.
Well,
I'm afraid.
We can tell.
But
yeah.
Do you want to go to a resort, Jared, or do you want to be walking around like doing whatever?
I don't want to go at all. I want to go to Aruba.
Like on the resorts, they have tanks at the entrances that like protect you so that like militias can't come in and like
I don't
fuck
like
you up.
that's the thing. Like, there's no militias in Aruba. It's the happy island. Everyone's so happy. And then you can walk around and be like, I know Xander Bogaerts. And now you have the 5-star hotel treatment. You get the red carpet treatment. I can pull up my Instagram and be like, look, he follows me on Instagram. I swear to God, I know him. And next thing you know, you're protected by the ambassador of the island. I don't have that kind of protection in Mexico. I can go to the Dominican Republic and be like, look, it's me and Poppy. And then it's like, okay, like, do you want to run for office here?
Yeah, no, they've never taken any action towards David Ortiz.
Well, that's different. I just wouldn't go to that restaurant. But I think in Aruba,
Jesus.
in Aruba, no one's doing shit. What do you think the crime rate is in Aruba? 0%?
Dude, what's the crime rate in this country? Like, we are not a safe country. You're acting scared about Mexico. You'd be
36
fine in
per
Mexico.
100,000.
Is that bad? I don't know.
Relatively low.
Yeah, that's for sure low.
Everyone's happy. What's there to be
You're
sad
sounding
about?
like a little bit of a coward. I can't even lie. I'm sorry. You won't pull up in Mexico? Like
Tyler,
you can't hang down there?
Tyler, let me tell you something. Like, if I go over there and say, hey, me and Coley, we're on the duck boats with Hector Velasquez, I don't know that that's... I don't know that that's
Congratulations on
protecting us.
retirement, Hector Velasquez.
Congratulations, Hector Velasquez, our duck boat brother. Hell of a career. World
He
Series
retired 2
champ
weeks ago.
forever. Yep.
He would protect you.
I don't know. I
Big
don't know.
HV.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, people are like, what? How many flights are there out of any major city to Mexico daily? Like, I feel like you're overblown. You sound like Kid Rock right now.
no. It's all like the crazy cartel videos that you come across on the internet, and it's just, I mean, it's
they're doing that.
it's
How many?
scary.
They're
We
not
all saw
doing
the
it-
chainsaw video. It's part of becoming a man.
They're
Yeah.
not doing it to tourists. They're doing it to rival cartel. If you join a rival cartel, yeah, keep your head on a swivel for sure.
I mean, I'm very easily persuaded into it.
But we're exactly what the cartel doesn't want. They don't want to beef with the U.S. Like, they don't want to get someone where they're like, hey, we need to save Tyler Milliken. He's been captured by the cartel.
There's
they got
no
this
way
dude
the
in a
United
cage
States is coming to
underground.
save you. No.
They wouldn't trade someone for me?
No.
Come on. I can't get Brittany Griner treatment?
No.
I mean, we really dragged our feet on that too. I don't know if that's the person you want to compare it to.
I'll also add Mexico. Something they don't get credit enough for is pyramids. They have real ass pyramids down in Mexico. There's no pyramids.
Real ass pyramids.
They do.
None of that fake Egypt bullshit.
No. Listen, those are legit. But like these pyramids are also pretty strong.
What are the fake ones then?
I don't know. I've heard like, that
Vegas.
some people say, yeah, Vegas, but like, people don't respect the Mexican pyramids. Like the
Do
Mayans
people actually
and shit.
say that, or like people don't say that about Vegas?
I've heard it.
Everyone knows that it's fake. It's a fucking hotel, dude.
People won't stop shit talking the Mayans and the Incans. That's
Listen. I'm looking at them right now.
The
These pyramids look
Aztecs?
just as nice as the ones that are in Egypt.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen one.
The Chichen Itza.
Have you been to Mexico, Coley?
no, not Mexico, but I would go.
Where?
Any of the fucking why am I blanking? Cozumel, Cabo. Why am I blanking on all the Mexican places?
Mexico City.
Damn it.
Probably Mexico City is mostly American. These like us now during COVID. So many of us moved down there.
I just feel like if you are born and bred living in Mexico, you have got to hate Americans.
Sure.
That's scary. I'd be like, I'm on your side, guys. Like I'm just here to check out the culture, appreciate the artifacts, and take in the scenes, And then next thing you know, you're a burlap sack over your fucking head. I don't know.
But like,
Scares
if
me.
you were to get taken by the cartel, don't get me wrong, it'd be pretty scary. But wouldn't you be a little interested to hear some of their stories? Like while you're sitting there, like I'd want to hear them out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what led you here? Like, how'd you get into this game? Like, are you happy with where things are going?
Tyler's
Like,
the guy that talks to the Uber driver.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
man,
in
so
Texas
how
I
long,
did it.
how long you been doing Uber, bro? Oh, that's sick, dude.
Okay.
Oh, you used to.
fuck Jared, because when we were in Texas and we were riding back from that tall ass building, I was in the front seat chatting up the Uber. He starts asking me questions about real estate and shit like I'm an actual adult. I have no idea what this guy's talking about. I go, Jared, how much do you think that would cost? He goes, I don't want to talk right now. The guy is waiting for a response. I'm like, Jared, please just tell me how much you think this is. Just completely ignores me. He's like, I'm tweeting on my phone. I'm watching the home run derby. Fucking cooked me.
That's very funny. Cancun. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name Cancun.
I thought you said Cancun.
No, I said Cabo San Lucas.
That's
Puerto
Mexico?
Vallarta, Playa del Carmen,
Yeah.
Acapulco. I would do for sure.
I'll go to Puerto Rico.
I was in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Great spot.
Yeah, I feel like I just need someone there that I trust. Like, I don't know anyone from Mexico. I know plenty of people in Puerto Rico. I know plenty of people in the Dominican. I know plenty of people in Aruba. Like, come on.
Selma Hayek.
I need like a Mexican ambassador to Section 10. That's what we need. I know there's plenty of people that listen to Section 10 in Mexico, though.
Yeah, and they're furious at you right now.
No, they're not. They're like, he's just scared. We need to calm him down.
Do you know someone who got attacked in Mexico? Like, does this hit close to home?
No, it's just the online videos.
The news.
The online
Propaganda.
Jared's watching Fox News with his covers up to his eyes. He's like, you can't let him in here. You just
Let's
can't.
see, Mexico. No, I want them to come here. Mexico baseball podcast charts. I want to see where we're at.
Tijuana. I do Tijuana for certain.
Baseball is Dead is the #1 baseball podcast in Mexico.
What are you worried about? They're going to welcome you with open arms.
That's
Yeah,
that's awesome.
you don't
Section 10 is the number 10 baseball podcast in Mexico. So shout out to our Mexican brothers and sisters in Mexico.
Don't you want some authentic, like, Mexican food? I've never had Mexican food, but that's what I would want to do.
I mean, I've been to San Diego. That's close. I don't know. I just feel like I would be way more comfortable if I had like a personal tour guide. I need to. It's like, all right, like I want to feel there's a personal touch to it, you know? I feel that way about any city. Like we're going to Kansas City this week tomorrow. I don't know anybody in. I know Jeff Passan. He's not fucking helping us.
No.
He did give us a recommendation for a barbecue spot, which I will try out. But
we did have Connor in Texas. That was kind of reassuring if we ever had like a question
that's what
or
I'm
anything
saying.
like that.
Yes.
Excellent.
Like I don't know. I don't know anybody in Mexico. I know people in all these other countries that I feel safe.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
You can name baseball players. You know that's more dangerous.
I know.
You're
telling me I don't know Alex Cora. If we went to Puerto Rico, you don't think
You
that he
do
would be
know
like,
AZ.
hey, like let me show you this spot, that spot. Like if we went to the Dominican Republic, David Ortiz would be like, hey, like we'll give you this recommendation, that recommendation.
Again,
I know it sounds crazy.
No, it's not.
I know it sounds crazy, but it's
That
true.
part's shockingly not crazy. However, that's so far the most dangerous thing you've said.
Why is that dangerous?
Per the track record.
Well, that doesn't mean he can't recommend us a place to stay and a restaurant to go to and all that.
Where have you never been? That's where I'm going. Where's there never been a trace of you?
Go to Raffy, man. The dude owns a compound with livestock and animals. That's where I'm
do
trying
farms.
to be.
I don't like farms.
You're anti-animal all of a sudden?
No, I'm not anti-animal. I like animals, but I'm not gonna travel to go see a farm.
That's fair.
I just need someone to make me like feel welcome in Mexico. That's all.
I feel like these all-inclusive resorts are pretty welcoming.
You also sound like you're
But I
trying to
don't-
convince someone to invite you right now. Like offer this kind of like
Well,
great trip to you.
Baseball
like, hey.
is dead. Baseball is dead. The #1 baseball podcast in Mexico. Section 10 cracks the top 10. That's nice. So if anyone's listening and you're in Mexico, we're gonna do. You know what? Let's do a Section 10 Mexican cruise. That's the only way.
I've been dying to go on a cruise again. I haven't been since 7th grade, and it was traumatizing.
If we did a cruise, did they do those? Did they do international cruises?
Yeah, I went
They're
to Bahamas.
international.
Almost exclusively, yeah.
But we can go from the United States to Mexico on a cruise?
Yes,
Yeah.
From where? Where does it leave from?
Florida.
Probably Florida, if I had to guess. Probably
What?
I've been on
California
one.
as well.
We can from Florida to Mexico? Why am I thinking that that's the wrong way? Mexico is big, huh?
Super big. The whole
Central.
country.
So,
Central America.
all
Nope.
right. I actually talked to Will Fleming about this.
Hold on. Mexico
what?
confirmed North America, Tyler. I hope you know.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
Mexico is definitely
yes
Central
way.
America.
No,
on.
dude, it's connected to the United States, you
What do you
dumbass.
think North America is? What do you think constitutes
It's
the
US
North
and up.
America?
No,
You
dude.
think we got two things?
Why would Mexico, it's attached to the United States. Why would it be not included in North America?
Hold on.
I mean,
Central
you're not.
America is everything below Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that update.
Costa Rica, things like that.
Yeah.
Guatemala.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Honduras. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do a cruise to Mexico then.
Can we go to Atlantis?
No.
It's like a resort kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
Not
nice.
in Mexico.
No, I think
Yes.
it was in the Bahamas when I went.
Correct.
All right. Well, it's not in Mexico.
Still in the Bahamas. They didn't move.
Yeah. We're
Are the
focused-
Bahamas, what is that considered?
Dutch, probably. British.
Dutch? Great spot.
I've never been on a cruise. I feel like people either love them or hate them.
You wouldn't
Yeah,
like
there's
it.
no middle ground.
Why?
I don't think you would like it. No.
Why?
My issue with it is you can't escape people. The rooms are typically on the smaller side just because it's a cruise. Like you can even go
Jared's
bigger room.
would be.
You think, Jared? I haven't seen huge rooms even for like nicer cruises. Like usually
Jared's
it's a
won't
different
be.
vibe.
No, Jared's not doing below deck. Like he'll have
Third
he'll have one of the
class.
suites for sure.
Yeah.
No,
The
I
pizza
just don't think
bars
you'd
are
like the
nice.
trapped aspect of it. Yeah, they do have 24-hour like burger and pizza service, which
Oh,
I
that's
think is a big plus for you.
Yeah. I
there's
just
a
don't
lot-
like. I don't trust the ocean.
Sure, I think that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd make a lot of Titanic references.
Yeah,
the whole time.
I would love that. I think I would do
bring
it
that
once. What?
You're not supposed to talk about the Titanic when you're on a cruise. That's like that's breaking a cardinal rule.
Oh, what's it gonna do? Sink my boat?
You're the one who's scared. You're the one who's scared to sink.
I'm not scared.
Yeah, you're terrified. You said you don't trust the ocean.
No, I like the ocean in general is a scary place.
Super scary.
Yeah, like the idea that what percentage is unexplored? 80%.
Oh, we know more about space than we do the ocean.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Super terrifying.
80%.
We just go out there and trust that nothing is going to destroy the vessel that we're on. We have no idea if something is down there that's capable of doing that. It very well could exist.
Like, we're not completely sure whether or not giant squid are out there. Like,
I think the megalodon's still alive.
We have no idea.
We can't call it.
There could be a squid the size of like the John Hancock building. Realistically, that thing could be down there. And we don't know.
What, blue whales are what, like 42 school buses or some silly shit like that?
They're down there.
You know what I mean?
We know they're down there.
You think
What
these
else is
stories
down
of
there?
these boats like getting taken down by these krakens just came from nowhere? People were just fucking around coming up with these things? No way.
Well, can't remember where it was in the world now, but there was like a passage between two land masses, and there used to be this giant whale that would just this wooden boat era would just be sinking boats anytime it went by, and then it disappeared for like decades, where they were like, oh cool, we can go back and forth. And then one day it just came back with a fucking vengeance. And it was just like, well, I guess that guy's still out there. Like, you just don't know. You have no idea.
Yeah. Like when you go on a roller coaster, right? You trust that the carnival workers have tested the ride multiple times. All the screws and bolts are tightened real nice. All the safety precautions have been taken. You go on a cruise. Are you going to sue a giant squid for killing 6,000 people? Like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Yeah. I'll see you in court,
Serve
dude.
the papers, baby.
Yeah. Like, you can't, like, the ocean, they don't play by the rules out there.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's the scary part. Is like, oh, you go on like a spooky ride. Like, what's the Tower of Terror? It's like, oh, it's a spooky ride. Ooh, like you can get scared on it, but you trust at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to actually die on this thing. You go on a cruise and anything can happen out there. Anything.
So quickly.
But like, if you think about it, when was the last time a cruise sank? The Titanic?
That wasn't a cruise. That was a passenger
Basically
ship.
A cruise.
No.
It's not even that. Like, it was like when diseases spread very quickly on those boats due to how close quarters everyone are. So I won't say once a year, but frequently it's like, yeah, there's a cruise ship docked 5 miles off the coast of Italy. It's in quarantine and it's running low on food. Like, that will happen from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into
real shame.
An Antarctica trip.
Oh, brother. No thanks.
Why, dude?
I just feel like there's stuff there. Like, we're talking about Antarctica. It's 40% bigger than Europe. There's something going on there that we don't know about. That's all I'm saying.
I don't care.
I'm intrigued.
That's not my problem.
I want to see the polar bears. I want to see
go there and find out what's going on and let us know.
I want to see the Arctic leopards. I saw those recently. The Antarctica sharks.
Yeah.
You want to come with me?
No.
To get there is an insane process, and like, there's no direct Antarctica flight.
No,
you got to take a boat, right? And it's like the worst ship ride, like, I think, to ever exist or something like that.
Yeah, people go all the time on TikTok, and they're like, "These are the calm seas," and they're just getting concussed.
What's that
every 3
song?
seconds.
That creepy ocean song they play on those TikTok? Yes, exactly. Fuck that. You're right. I'm out.
Hoist the colors high. What is that from?
I don't know, but you nailed it. That really is it.
TikTok, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
It's just the sound that plays when you're out there.
Yeah, I would hear it for certain.
Thieves and beggars. Yeah, I don't know what that's from.
But there is this like main kitchen in Antarctica that serves everyone.
Shall we die? Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's not.
hard out on Antarctica. The hardest of outs.
Yeah, no, that's stupid. Well,
I dabble.
In order to go through the process of getting there, it has to be something cool on the other side. It's just a block of ice. Just like go out into the middle of a fucking frozen pond and tell yourself it's Antarctica, and boom, there you go. There it is.
I like penguins.
They got them at the New England Aquarium. Yeah.
Those penguins fucking blow. Every penguin in that fucking place.
Don't you fucking
Bro.
Don't you ever.
Crazy.
Don't you ever. My passions in life: baseball, pro wrestling, Titanic, Penguins, Titanic, very interchangeable.
JFK.
Yeah, JFK is right there too. But like, yeah, don't you ever. I fucking love those penguins at the New England Aquarium. I almost
awesome.
one off season. The off season after I left Barstool, while like we were waiting to figure out if DK was happening or not, I was gonna go volunteer at the aquarium. Like, it's a volunteer job, I believe, to start. Like, I don't think you get paid right away, but you like go in the aquarium and like you can just wear a wetsuit and like walk around and like clean up their shit.
Shitting in the water, dude.
I know,
They're
that's
shitting
part
like
of the job,
crazy.
dude. What do you think babies do? What do you think when you and Martha have a baby? You think you're not going to clean up that shit?
That's one baby. I don't want to be in a pool of penguin shit like an entire. I don't even know what you call them.
You'll be swimming in baby shit when you and Martha.
I'm
have
not
a baby.
swimming in baby shit. This is penguin shit, and these penguins don't even do tricks or
I
anything.
don't like how you're saying
Oh,
penguins.
yes, they do.
Dude, the penguins in the
They
Arctic
don't do tricks.
The ones in the Arctics are swimming like crazy and doing all these cool
What do you
tricks. These are
think, dude?
domesticated.
What do you think that they do?
They're
What do you
just
think the penguins do?
vibing.
No, you haven't. You obviously
They're
haven't
getting
been
the
there.
little
And you haven't
fishes
spent,
tossed to them. Congrats. Good for
you
you.
haven't spent enough time in the penguin area to think that they don't do any tricks. Yes, they
I've
do.
taken Martha to 4 dates at that fucking aquarium. I've seen them.
Yeah,
I'm more
okay,
into the
yeah,
seals.
that just shows that you're a shitty boyfriend. That doesn't know that you like actually know anything about penguins. 'Cause you
She's
don't.
very passionate about marine biology.
Okay. I mean, have a little something more original then.
I'm into the seals. That's an animal. Those are animals working for something. The penguins,
You
they
think
get all
seals,
the fucking attention right when you walk in. They're
Yeah.
squawking, they're
they're
squeaking.
the main event. They're the main event.
Yeah, them and the giant sea turtle are the main
Yeah.
event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Into penguin meat.
Brother. People forget. I used to win scholarships to go to aquarium camp every summer. People don't talk
What?
about that. There used to be contests. I used to write to the mayor.
What
who
year?
decided and shit.
Yeah.
5th and 6th grade. Yeah, back-to-back years. For free because I was passionate about this shit.
Yeah,
It
this shit
was
meant
in
something
there.
to me.
Oh man. Behind the scenes at the aquarium for 2 weeks of summer?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. We should do a live show at the aquarium.
Love it.
Apparently Tyler's uninvited.
I'm definitely invited if we're going. I just prefer to be
Doesn't
with the
sound like
seals than the penguins.
We don't care. Check out the Section 10 Night vlog on our YouTube channel. A lot of people are saying it's the best vlog we've done so far. It's up there. It's definitely one of the best. I feel like they're all the best. They're all great. Shout out to Mike Eamon.
Go.
Shoots, edits, what's the word, Jake? Shoots, edits, produces?
Videographer.
Yeah. The GOAT videographer. Mike Eamon putting together the Section 10 Night vlog. He also shaves his balls. Did you know that, Jake? You guys live together.
No, that hasn't come up yet.
Fellas, do you want your grooming routine to be one and done? Well, the days of using the Sam trimmer for your face and your private parts are over because our friends at Manscaped, they've come up with the ultimate package to keep your hairs trimmed from 12 to 6. Introducing the Beard and Balls bundle featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 and the Beard Hedger, a trimmer for the moneymaker and another for the boys downstairs. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code. Is it Section 10?
Section 10.
Promo code Section 10 at Manscaped.com. That is 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code Section 10 at Manscaped.com for the premium grooming experience. You have to trust Manscaped. First up, your balls' new best friend is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. You know that. You had known that. Say goodbye to endless passes. The trimmer gets it right the first time, cutting through the bushiest of bushes. I feel like he's got a Bob Ross down there. You pull down his pants and old Bob Ross sticks his head out and is like, hey, howdy, how you doing? It's Tyler's balls. You gotta shave. Huh?
That's a good Bob Ross.
Yeah. Yeah. With 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, you choose between a precise trim or a smooth finish. Did I mention it's waterproof? Yes, you can trim in the shower and avoid making a mess everywhere. Perfect for those of us who appreciate efficiency. Now you got to talk about the beard hedger. Whether you're going for a neat stubble or full-on lumberjack look, this trimmer has you covered, featuring a titanium-coated stainless steel T-blade and 20 length options. My God, you can achieve any style you want with just a twist of the zoom wheel. Just like the lawnmower, the beard hedger is also waterproof, so you can handle your beard grooming right in the sink or the shower without worrying about water damage. With up to 60 minutes of runtime and an LED charge indicator, you'll never be caught mid-trim with a dead battery. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra ensures you're always looking your best below the waist, while the beard hedger takes care of everything else. I can't speak to Tyler's use of the lawnmower, but it looks like you could use a beard hedger, Tyler. Would you agree?
You're not wrong.
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code section10 at manscaped.com. That is 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code section10 at manscaped.com. No more juggling multiple tools or dealing with subpar results. Just efficient, effective grooming wherever you need it. Oh, whew. Red Sox win 2-1. Do you think they should have shut down Tanner Houck? Did you need to see him in this game?
I do, as someone who's been in the camp of shutting him down, because he hadn't pitched for 2 weeks, right? This was a long time for a guy to just be sitting on your roster and not doing anything. To him, and apparently to the Red Sox, they feel like it's pretty meaningful for him to hit the 30-start benchmark. They feel like it's something that will kind of, paint the way forward for what's going to happen the following year. And Cora was like, hey, I don't want it to be a thing now where you get into September and it's always like, oh, we're going to shut that guy down. Now, I think if you had told them, 3 days ago, you're done for the year, don't even think twice about it, does it really change it that much? But seemingly that's a goal they had for Houck, and Houck wants to reach to. If this is your way of getting to it where he's only throwing 60 pitches because he's limited, whatever. Does it really matter at this point? As long as he doesn't get hurt, I don't think anybody's going to care. And credit to Houck. Velocity was up. Like, the stuff was pretty good. 4 innings of 1 earned run ball. He didn't look exhausted out there, and he was throwing the sweeper more than we've seen really over the last month, where he's been leading with his sinker. So, yeah, I didn't have to see it, but he also didn't look like a guy who was being put in a bad position either.
I think for me, this was more for him. I think the Red Sox, it's not like the Red Sox needed or wanted to push him even more, but I'm sure he kind of wants to make it to the finish line, so to speak. I think he wants to, and in your breakout year, a year that you weren't even supposed to make the rotation, and then you find your way in with the Giolito injury, and then end up making the All-Star team and become the de facto ace of the Boston Red Sox in a year that a lot of people thought they could make the playoffs, and maybe they should have. We're going to get to that because the whole Tigers thing pisses me off a lot. I already talked to Jake about this earlier on Baseball is Dead, but I do want to kind of bring that up again here. I think it means something to him to be able to finish what he started. I think making the All-Star team is check number 1, and then check number 2 is finishing the job. So I respect that. I admire that about Tanner Houck. Great guy, having a great season, and I hope he finishes it strong and has all that to look back on and can build on it for next year.
Don't you think him seeing Cutter hit the 30 start mark too, now up to 31, is also like kind of a factor in as another young guy? It's like, hey, he got to the benchmark, he hit it. Let me get there as well. Like, I kind of want to show I can handle this whole 162 game workload. Now those two guys, they're going to be the ones who gave you 30 starts this season.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, Nick Pivetta didn't give you 30 starts this year. I think he's at 24 technically now. Like, Brian Bayo going to be right there. He's at 29 after today, so he's probably going to get right there to 30. But that young trio of Houck, Crawford, Bayo, the guys you pencil into next year, they all have a 30 start season underneath their belt now.
Do you bring Pivetta back?
No. There's no
Back
point.
where?
Giolito serves the same purpose. If he wants to go in the bullpen, sure, but he's not going to want to.
Jake, do you bring back Nick Pivetta?
Back where?
Yeah, that's right.
It is it's a weird feeling the last couple starts, because this is a guy, you go back to 2020, it's him, Houck, and Devers. Those are the only guys that were on that team. Pivetta and Houck were barely on that team. They started the last 2 weeks of the season. Knowing he's going to be gone when he's been on this team for 5 years, there just hasn't been a lot of guys who've been around, that consistently over the last.
What's his ERA right now?
I believe it's a 4.3.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like 4.23 or 4.3.
All right. That's better than I would have guessed.
It's It's textbook Pivetta.
That's better than what I would have guessed from Pivetta, though. Like, Pivetta, in my mind, it's like, oh, well, like, what's Nick Pivetta's career ERA? Like, I'd be like 4.78.
I think it's better to look at what he's been with the Red Sox, because obviously the Philly
What's
days
his career ERA?
4.79, 4.35 with the Red Sox. The 4.35 with the Red Sox feels...
Tyler,
boom.
you're just going to fucking skip over the fact that I almost nailed his fucking career ERA?
I didn't hear the number. What number did you give?
I said 4.78. It's 4.79.
Oh, okay. That's fucking ridiculous.
Way
Nice.
off.
I'm sorry. I missed
You're just
that.
going to skip over that?
That was
Like,
dickish.
Jesus Christ, dude. It just smelled like I swear to God, I haven't looked at his baseball reference page since probably 2021. Yeah, but like that's what it feels like in my head, is like he's a 4.78 guy. Excuse me, he's a 4.79 guy.
I was going through him and Rick Porcello's numbers, and it's actually scary. Porcello threw more innings, and last year with Pivetta being back and forth between the bullpen made it look a little weird. But in terms of like ERA and FIP, him and Rick Porcello were essentially the same pitcher in a Red Sox uniform.
Well, Porcello had that shit.
The highs of the highs.
2015. Yeah,
you had a Cy Young season in there, but you factor out the numbers in total. Pivetta never got quite that high, but it was that kind of innings.
I'd like to see, what's that called
mid-four.
when you take off the best one and the worst one, and then you do the average of
A high-low?
Yeah, I guess it's a high-low. Because Porcello in 15 was fucking atrocious, but then he won the Cy Young in 2016. So what was Porcello's ERA from 17 through... When did he leave? 19?
18 or 19.
19
I think he was done.
last
He was
year.
here in 19. Yeah. What was his ERA 17 through 19? Because that's who he is. That's his high-low.
4.1 be my guess.
4.79 for Porcello. Oh, hold on. That's going back. Why didn't that update? Here we go. 2017 to 2019 for Rick Porcello was a 4.79 ERA, 4.45 FIP. What years you want Pivetta?
I mean, so Pivetta doesn't have any outlier years. Like, just give me his Red Sox
No.
ERA.
He has
His
outlier months.
4.35.
So it's the same thing? Yeah.
Yeah, they were very similar, just not as high for Pivetta as Porcello's Cy Young season was.
Then why do we like Rick so much?
He ate more innings to his credit, but his lows were worse. Like, he had a 5.52 ERA in 2019 and 32 starts. And, yeah,
Well, he was like almost out of baseball at that point.
Right,
even
when he pitched for, like, the
4.92 in
Mets or something out
2015.
Yeah.
Also different money as well in that
So I
conversation.
think the difference between the big difference. So if you're looking at those, the high-low for Rick and then the Red Sox numbers for Pivetta, the difference is we like Rick because 2018, like he was like, what was his ERA? Coley?
I was just going to say the teams around him were better.
Teams around him were better. I mean, he
After
was on a last place
21.
team in 15, and then he was on 3 straight division title winners, and then his last year he was just whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
After 21, I think we were all super high on Pivetta for what he did down the stretch that September, coming out of the pen, that October. Like, I don't
even
know that
going
we
into
were-
this year, the Whirly Bird slider, that was the talk of the offseason. It was like, watch, we might see a version of Pivetta we haven't seen yet. There are a lot of people pushing that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I remember on this show, we talked early in the year, like Pivetta might turn out to be one of the top arms available in free agency. Like, that was this show this season. And he just keeps being himself, which is a
Well,
serviceable pitcher.
someone is still going to pay him Like you're
sure.
gonna
That's
look,
what I'm
going to
a
the Dodgers.
serviceable pitcher.
yeah, you're gonna look at the contract that Pivetta gets this winter and be like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks, see you later. Like,
Right.
you're gonna whatever Pivetta gets, you're gonna look at the number, look at the years, and say, I'm glad it wasn't the Red Sox that did that.
Right. If he's a contender's number 5 and he's just eating innings throughout the course of the year, you'll take that because there's days he's going to pitch like a 2, and then there's days he's going to pitch like a 7. Like that's just who he is.
And that's why when you were sitting here all these years and you were so desperate for someone to flash top of the rotation stuff, and then he would, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We saw it, months at a time. You go back to when he was making the push for the All-Star team a few years back. It's just that was never who the guy actually was. You were just hoping for more because you needed more.
I summoned the name of Will Fleming earlier, and then I never finished my thought. I think I got cut off mid-sentence, but
Sorry.
Will Fleming and I discussed like a Section 10 cruise and how we need to do that.
Okay.
Like we discussed, that was like yesterday or the day before. We were just like, it'd be fucking cool, a Section 10 cruise.
Just like our fans on there, or would we go and film us? Would that be the idea?
No, everyone would come. Yeah, like, because that, yeah, we would be like listeners of the podcast plus us plus Will Fleming.
What about an Alaska cruise?
No, why Alaska?
I've been looking into land there.
You can't go out on the deck. It's so cold.
They have big fleas.
It depends what time of year you go.
Right now.
Right now it's probably fine.
I think because I think the Red Sox used to do a Red Sox cruise.
I think you're right. I remember that.
Patriots do one.
Section 10 out of context put out a poll. I'm gonna retweet it because it only has 200 votes. Let's get some numbies up here. Gotta pick one. Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. Who do you think's in the lead?
NSYNC.
I would guess NSYNC.
52% say Backstreet Boys. 52% of people that follow that account are fucking stupid. That's wrong. so let me
100% of those people are smart if they've downloaded the Underdog Fantasy app and entered promo code Jared. That's what I would say to those people, because then those 52% of people may be taking Bayo's higher on strikeouts. They might be taking his lower. You never know, but you could do whatever political party you ascribe, whether it's BSB or NSYNC, whichever side of the aisle you fall on, we will accept you at Underdog, promo code Jared.
Do you see Rudman was a big fan of my football takes today?
I didn't, but that doesn't. Were they anti-patriot? Because I'm sure Rudman, like the rest of us, are very anti-patriot.
No, they weren't anti-patriot. It was mostly just like I was just drilling my predictions and takes on all that.
Love that.
I know I put out a poll. I don't know how I would find it though. I don't think I put NSYNC in the caption, so that's why I don't think I'm going to be able to find it, unfortunately. I don't know. It was like 5,000 votes though. Like I remember being at Kowloon, being hammered and being like, we got to put a fucking end to this debate tonight. And we threw out the, oh, you know what? Maybe. I don't know. I'll find it later.
Jared, when talking about the rotation, obviously Pavetta's gone. I think we're surprised with Houck. I mean, I saw Stats retweeted an old tweet of his saying, who do you feel, this is from like last season, the year before, who do you feel more confident in as a starter between Houck and Crawford? And people were heavy on Crawford. The organization, as I've said, it feels like every week, didn't want Tanner Houck starting this year. So it's been a surprise to everyone. In the middle of June this year, maybe even May, you asked me what I would be happy with out of Brian Bayo this season, if it was even salvageable. Coming into today, because Baseball Reference won't have today's start until late
I'll get
October.
to today's start. What do you want?
Well, I see the numbers, and it lowered his season ERA, so I assume it helped his ERA. But from July 3rd through September 14th, he was at a 81 and a third innings pitched, 3.76 ERA, which was kind of exactly all I wanted to see. Because July 3rd was also famously the start he started throwing a fastball again. So
if you want the last 15 starts, Coley, it's a 3.62 ERA. So that's a half a season of starts.
Sure. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to see out of him down the stretch. And even today, he battled. He gave up the 1 earned run. He got the loss. He had 7 Ks to 2 walks. I'll take that. You know what I mean? That's the kind of start. It wasn't 6 innings, went 5 2/3. He also got a line drive drilled off of him. He competed to the very end. That's all I needed to see out of him.
Last 5 starts, it's a 245, right?
The July 3rd, Cutter Crawford, 5.27.
Yeah.
Nick Pivetta, 4.34. Tanner Houck, 4.09. Cooper Criswell, 3.69.
Got a FIP?
4.67.
You got a fucking FIP for me, kid?
The FIP, I know, just before his bullpen outing recently or yesterday,
4.67
was horrendous.
And then Brian Bayo leading the Red Sox rotation since July 3rd with a 3.62 ERA and a 3.73 FIP.
That's what you need out of Brian Bayo. That is exactly like number 3, low end number 2 production.
Yeah.
So the fact you have the first half and everything that went through, I think you hope with another offseason, like he's gotten more swing and miss. It was 7 Ks today, and he'd even have his best stuff. The velo was down across the board tonight, and he still had no problem missing bats and getting whiffs. Like that's kind of what you're hoping for out of Brian Bayo. It just, unfortunately, was a really rough first half of growing pains, but going into next year, I don't know how you don't feel at least confident he's going to be that mid-rotation starter.
I do feel like, and it's not because I like the kid, but I do feel like I can write off the entire first half. The literal second he started throwing his fastball again, he became a better pitcher. Like that's what, when he took away one of his best pitches, yeah, he was worse. Like that, I don't feel like the first half should be held against him at all. I understand people will, but coming into that start, his last start after June 25th, his ERA on the season was 5.55. You know what I mean? He's going to settle in here. What did you say was 4? What did you say is on the season is, Tyler? 4.60?
It's like, yeah, I think it's a little less. I think it's like 4.49. Yeah, 4.49.
4.49 ERA. So he's shaved over a full run off of it this whole second half of the season. Like, I don't know how you can't be encouraged.
I'm not going to hold it against him.
Well,
I'm not going to.
No, not you. I'm talking about.
No, I'm just saying in
base.
general. I'm not going to hold it against him. I'm going to acknowledge that it happened for sure, but I think it's almost a good thing that it happened. It's like, okay, we did what we had an original plan. We stuck with it for 3 months. It didn't work.
No.
And so we pivoted to something else and that worked. Like that's a good thing. And the whole temper tantrums on the mound stopped right there. Right there. Like that's when it stopped. Was the Miami start. They were like, go down to Miami, go hang out with Will Smith for a couple days. Yeah. See what it looks like. And he's been the best pitcher on the staff ever since.
I'll also add, like, when you're talking about the differences between Bayo at the end of last year, like Bayo was throwing his slider 17% of the time last year. The changeup was 23%. You know, those were big arsenal changes where he reworked his slider. He throws at 28% of the time now. It's his second most used pitch. Like the 4-seamer still only at 4% this year. It usually hovers between 8 to 10% since he implemented it again. But like he was working with a completely different, usage pattern. So like that's some of that Andrew Bailey effect of him coming into a new program. And then him also having to be like, no, I needed that fastball to get to where I want. But yeah, this is exactly the second half you dreamt of with him.
You know what's bonkers? Cutter Crawford since July 3rd, he has the 5.27 ERA. He has the lowest whip on the staff. It's like he's not allowing base runners. He's just allowing moon bombs. That's what it is.
I know.
Like the all right. So it's like, all right, Cutter Crawford has a 109 whip. Bayo's is 129. Criswell 145. Houck 139. Pavetta's right there because he allows bombs too. 110 and then 109 for Cutter. The home runs per 9. Bayo 0.83. Criswell 0.78. Houck 0.82. Pivetta 190. Crawford 239. Like he's just Serving them up. Serving them.
And I will say for Bayo, hasn't given up a homer since August 17th. You know, he was one of those guys when he was going through it. He gave up a homer in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight starts, even when he was getting it on in the middle of July and everything was working out. So, like, he's improving even in those aspects compared to that time.
What do you mean getting it on?
Listen, when he was turning the corner, he was still giving up homers. That was one of the things. It was like, hey, that and the control both have gone in the right direction.
Since July 3rd, Bayo, Criswell, and Houck combined have given up one fewer home run than Cutter Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people be like, you feel confident with Houck being your number 2 going into next year, and I already don't see that as like a contending team. That's not a knock on Houck, but he's trying his best to get to the finish line right now. I think a true contending team, and again, you don't have to fix everything in one offseason, but a true contending team, him and Bayo are your 3-4 in whatever order you want to put them. That's your 3-4.
Now, I'd call them at that point, like, if it's anywhere close, if you get second half Bayo and what Tanner Houck's been this year, those are some of the better 3s and 4s in baseball. Right?
Sure.
But I think with them, and I think you're right, Coley, where it's going to come down to is they're going to say they have 4 penciled in rotation spots. Like, we're good. It's Cutter, Giolito, those 4. I'm not against the Cutter idea because I do think, you know, while this year in the last 6 starts, it's a 4.28 ERA, the FIP's 4.72 because why? He's given up homers. So the FIP's going to look like dog shit one way or the other. But if you want to say maybe we're looking at Cutter and think he can serve in a bullpen role and do a lot of things there, if that's how he loses out, I don't think that's the worst pathway in the entire world to go about it either. Because you just have so much of that bullpen you got to remodel now.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck did Breslow say today?
A lot.
He talked about Tyler O'Neill. He talked about Vaughn Grissom.
But didn't he say, like, we got to take a look at the bullpen? It's like, yeah, no shit, dude. The bullpen sucks. Keep Slayton and blow the rest of it up. Jesus Christ.
Well, you have Chris Martin, who's seemingly kind of trying to say,
fucking retired.
I want to come back. How do you remodel this thing? Because you can't go into next year right now and say Liam Hendricks is your closer. That'd be irresponsible. No. You haven't seen him pitch in multiple years at this point at the level that Liam Hendricks once was. You can be hopeful he can grow into it. They're not going
to bring in a closer. They're going to bring in some back end guys and probably spread it out until Liam's ready for it. But you're not going to add like a legit closer. Watch it. Like they'll fucking bring in Kimbrel's bum ass and be like, yeah.
Oh, I'd rather die. I'd rather die than watch Craig Kimbrel be on my team again. I'm sorry. I can't do it. No. If Craig Breslow does that, I will question everything he's doing.
He would never sign here. After Alex Cora told him he was worthless bringing Chris Sale in to close out the World Series, he will never come here.
No, but like when you start to look at the money coming off the books though, right? Like Kenley, 16, Chris Martin, 8. That's $24 million with those two simply alone. Liam Hendricks is making 5. You should invest at least
to sign Heath Bell.
Jesus. You should invest heavily in at least one bullpen arm here, whether it's a Tanner Scott because you need a lefty or whatever it may be. Maybe you look at it and you say, I want to bring Chris Martin back at age 39. I would be nervous considering he's had, not the anxiety IL stint, but the shoulders barked multiple times this year. Like, do you feel comfortable in trusting that guy to carry a heavy workload? He's been excellent.
No.
He's still Chris Martin, but...
No,
he can't be your 8th inning guy.
I think Justin Slayton is new age Chris Martin. Justin Slayton hasn't walked the guy since he came off the IL.
Yeah, tonight's outing wasn't even his fault. That was some turf bullshit.
Danny Jansen, throw a fucking ball at the Trevor Story's glove, not one into center field. Sorry.
Yeah, that wasn't on Slayton tonight.
And you go back to the second game, what he did. That was incredible. 1st and 3rd, no outs, and he got out of that.
Yeah. I mean, they got one hit. It was a one-hit shutout. If they got no hit tonight, I wouldn't even have cared.
No.
Who cares?
They keep asking him what's wrong with the lineup. He's like, it's been this way for over a month. Like, I don't know what to tell you. He said since the Houston series, he's like, yeah, we were the best offense in baseball against righties. And then the Houston series happened and we've been dog shit ever since. Like, I get that the writers have a job to do, but it's like, bro, go home. Like, why are you harassing this man, Alex Cora, at the game? Like, they're not making the playoffs. The games don't matter anymore. And you're asking him about like the hitter's approach. Like, who fucking cares? Like, they've all mailed it in. You can tell. I mean, between like all the strikeouts and guys just like not
doing what they were doing before in terms of their approach. It's, yeah.
You got 10 hits in a series. That's a wild thing. You got 10 hits and you struck out 33 times.
That's bad.
Like, you know, you get 10 hits in
and
a
you
single
won
game.
a game.
Yes. And with one guy who really kind of took things over in Trevor Story, which I do think is arguably the nicest positive we've had over the last week or so. You know, Trevor Story, I'm not saying go nuts, but
That's
since he came
shortstop.
back, 263, 300, 421, like you give that with elite defense at shortstop, 4 out of 5 on stolen bases, a couple homers. At least there's something you kind of hope for. And he's not striking out at a ridiculous rate, which if you go back to a year ago when we saw him, he couldn't make contact if his life was on the line.
Yeah,
The
he
K
did look
percentage is
terrible
like-
when he came back the last time.
Yeah, it's like 25% right now. Like, he's going to strike out. It's Trevor Story. That was the guy he was in Colorado. But if you can be close to a league average bat or a little bit better with pop and steal bags with elite defense, you are a useful player moving forward.
Yeah. And obviously, like, not to crap on the guy.
His leadership, too, after the game, hearing how he kind of framed being a Red Sox, like, it's an honor to wear this jersey. I know a lot of people don't kind of believe in where we're at right now, but hey, screw it. We'll win out. Did they win out? No, they lost the next night. But for someone to kind of be talking like that, that is a voice that really hasn't been there for most of the season outside of Rob Refsnyder, who also talks retirement every single chance he gets.
That's what I mean. Everyone
Bro.
who's been dubbed the leader on this team either
Wants to go.
is made out of peanut brittle or wants to join the military. Like,
Chris Martin is begging for retirement, but there was a story of how he stepped up recently that Chris Cotillo put out.
No
of,
one stepped up. They lose every day. No
I'm not,
one's
that's all I'm
stepping
saying.
up.
Just
Yeah.
being the guy to, like, you know, don't go talk to the young guys, talk to me. And they're like, well, you didn't pitch in the game. He's like, still, come talk to me. Talk to a real man. It's like, all right, okay, Chris. When
That's
they were
so
in New York.
cringe. That's so cringe.
Story, it's been, what, the second best stretch? I'm not being a dickhead. Like, the second
Best
best
since
stretch of
22.
baseball he's played since he joined the Red Sox. Like, it's been a genuinely the only positive coming out of the lineup.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. You know, it's
I mean,
basically he's
Durant
been
had the
what he was in
game-winning hit.
22. It,
Sure,
because of
drove in
Story.
Story, who created that run.
Yeah. fair.
Second, third, infield single.
This guy,
Durant's-
Coley Mick, just sucks Trevor Story's dick all the time, and I'm tired of it.
Check the tapes. I've long been his only supporter in this town.
Yeah.
Coley tweeted out the story time. I respected the hell out of it.
I do it every time he hits a home run.
I genuinely do love Trevor Story.
If he had played this whole time, I'm sure I would think much differently of him. That part of the problem is he hasn't.
I mean, it's a valid criticism. Either way, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Red Sox need to address the leadership thing. You can talk about how Trevor Story's a great leader, but if you're not out there, you're not playing, then it doesn't mean anything. Chris Martin. Like, what do you mean? Come talk to me. Like, what the fuck did you do in this game? Like, we want to talk to the people that played. Like, what? Like, it's just I kind of said it, on the baseball hour with Maz on Wednesday. Like, the pecking order is out of whack in the Red Sox clubhouse. You don't have that guy that's in there that knocks everyone else down a peg. Like, you have certain players walking around thinking that they are at a level that they're not in terms of clout, in terms of where they should be on the leadership scale. And like, don't read into that as in like, oh, he's talking shit about this guy or that guy. It's no one in particular. Like, there's no one that really comes to mind, but they don't have that guy that I'm talking about. Like, they don't have that guy that when he walks in the room and he says, I have something to say, that everyone stops and it's like, we got to pay attention because like that guy's a fucking dude. Like, they don't have that guy. He's not on the team. Like, I guess you could say it's Raffy, but like, we know he's not that guy. Like, he's not going to give you a rah-rah speech. He's not going to address the room when things are going poorly. He's just going to show up. He's going to get his work in. He's going to hit and he's going to play through injuries and he'll lead by example that way. But they just don't have that guy where it's like, damn, like, you know, like I've used this example before. Like, when the 2016 Astros had all those young guys come up and they were all very talented, all very good, but they didn't have an adult in the room. 2017, all right, maybe one of the adults in the room suggested to cheat on a historic level, but like Carlos Beltran walks in the room and you're like, holy fuck, like that guy, future Hall of Famer, still very productive hitter. Brian McCann walks in, Josh Reddick walks in, and you're like, okay, like we're a young group and we can all play baseball very well, but we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like we need an adult in the room. When they added the adults in the room, that's when the Houston Astros dynasty began. And I get it. They cheated, whatever. But I think a lot of us probably look back and say they would be really good even if they didn't cheat. I think they've proved
won
that
since that.
Yeah, they've won a World Series since then. They have been in the ALCS every year since that year. Literally every year since that year. And there's been turnover, like all the players that were involved in the scandal. A lot of them have since moved on and they're still fucking really good.
You even see it with
that's what this team needs, especially next year when that's going to be the year that we start seeing the promotions of Nuttown, and there needs to be an adult in the room. Who is that guy right now? Like, I don't believe Rob Refsnyder is going to retire. I think he really wants the Red Sox to pick up his option, and if they don't, then he's going to be like, well, I'm going to retire. It's like, you're definitely going to get $2 million. Like after the year he's had this year, someone's going to give him $2 million somewhere, or whatever. That's chump change. But for as well of a job as Rob has done this year, he can't be the leader in the room. He can't be the guy that's like, get on my back, everyone. It's like, well, no, like you don't play every day. You're not going to play every day. You're probably going to play even less once all these other guys start to come up.
The only guy with a rah-rah speech this year that we know of that seemingly got the team going was Jarren Duran. He's the only guy. And we heard about that, during the Philly series where apparently he was going around and telling everyone like, we can compete with this team. And then they go on that run for 6 weeks and, he's right at the middle of it. He's been the best player on the team this year, but it's also his first real year, being at this level as a player in the big leagues. And we've seen his own ups and downs as he's tried to battle, the spotlight and being that guy. It hasn't been the smoothest ride.
No.
I think that's where the Bregman conversation comes in, though. I wonder if that's where Cora kind of looks at it and says, that's the edge we're looking for. Like the guy who gets comped to Dustin Pedroia from a personality standpoint, like, can he fit in and bring that pedigree?
Yes. That fuck you attitude. Yes.
And I don't want to crap on Chris Martin because I do think he is a guy. I like Chris Martin. I wouldn't be against bringing him back either. I'd definitely consider it. But I think you can only get so much out of an eighth inning guy. Obviously he was here in the organization a decade ago or whatever it was, but you need more than that, especially on the position player side, I think.
Sure.
Same for Kenley. Like Kenley has all the pedigree in the world as well, but like,
would you bring Kenley back?
No.
Candy boy suck.
Never down.
Never down.
You would not.
Nope.
Coley?
Yeah, I mean, that feels crazy to me. Just an outright no.
I think where Kenley's at in this point in time, and it's no disrespect to him, I don't know if you're going to get another year like this out of Kenley. And he's worn down as the year has gone along. We're seeing now with the lap barking once again. Am I going to pay $16 million for Kenley Jansen at this point? I'd probably prefer a fresher, younger arm with less mileage, especially if we're planning to go on a postseason run here. Because we saw Kenley, once he got past that innings mark he was at last year, the results started going in the other direction.
I guess.
Would
but
you,
that
Jared?
is something. I would consider it. Yeah, it depends on what the price tag was, but I don't know that he's getting 16 million.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, like would you do it for like 10 or 12? Maybe on a 1 year deal. Like, is he getting multi-year? I don't know.
Can't imagine. He's not young either. That's where it's like I don't.
No, he'd be what, 37?
Yeah, I don't think he's getting a huge deal.
No,
I'd also say with Kenley too.
but I think if the Dodgers gave him an offer, he'd take it.
Sure.
Like, where he wants to be at the end. Like that's part of it to me as well, where it's like
he wants to be in the playoffs, and if he's looking at the Red Sox, that's not a team that offers him that. Like that's all he said, even in the preseason this year when everyone was like, "Oh, Kenley's bitching." Like the bitching was that the team was bad. He was right.
He was right. My thoughts aligned with Kenley.
Like Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates is someone I would bring in. For sure.
That
Incredible
cannot
year in
cost
Texas.
much at all.
No, never does when he's available. I mean, he wasn't supposed to be their closer this year.
He's been what, the second best closer in the American
He's been
League
crazy.
behind
Like,
Class A.
When we faced him, we had nothing for him.
You know, he's going to be 38 next year. Kenley's going to be 37. Like, if you're picking from older closers, obviously you have Liam Hendricks, who now fits into that conversation as well as an older
Sure.
guy.
I've seen these guys play baseball, though.
Wait, what'd you say?
Like Liam Hendricks, like we said, he hasn't played baseball.
No,
in years.
exactly. I'd rather, at this point in time, I'd like to see an investment because I do think bullpen-wise, you're going to need an arm that kind of stabilizes everything in the back, especially from the left side. The more I think about Tanner Scott, the more I tend to fall in that camp lately.
But why can't that be Penrod?
In terms of late innings, I think depending on how they want to go about it with him, are they so locked into the idea what they saw with him starting that they want him back in that role starting next year? Then I think you have that hole in the bullpen once again.
Sure, but I'm saying if they need both, you already have this guy. I feel like just making him a high leverage reliever feels like the way to go.
I don't hate the idea of going that way with Penrod because we've talked about the quality options they have at AAA between Priester and Dobbins. Dick Fitz is more likely than not going to start the year down there, right? Wilkerman Gonzalez is going to be due for a promotion to AAA as well. There's only so many spots to go around here. But I think even with Penrod, I tell you probably still need another lefty.
That's
you know what I mean? I think you're going to need to get by.
I don't disagree with that at all. But in terms of like, all right, where should the money go? Since that is part of the conversation too. I don't know that I'm overpaying for a lefty, especially when a reliable lefty was put on waivers for $12 million and they told you, no, we're all set.
I do think the conversation with Rogers is a little different because seemingly even the Giants weren't willing to use him in high leverage spots. Tanner Scott is a guy you can use in high leverage spots and a guy you could say he's going to close for us to start the year. And no one would bat an eyelash. You'd say, all right, yeah, he's going to start. Maybe Liam Hendricks somehow pulls the job, but either way, you're going to have a guy who's one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball. Now, where's the price? Are you going to pay $448? You're starting to make me a little uncomfortable. But I think that's where you got to feel that conversation out a little bit. Because I think you do need someone dependable from the left side, especially who can at least pitch an eighth inning.
Who?
There's the setup man for the Twins. Why am I blanking on his name?
Lefty?
No, not. I'm just thinking relievers at this point. He was filthy this year.
Griffin Jacks?
No, Spanish guy.
Mm.
Why am I blanking on his name? Just I know their bullpen, like they need so many things, the Twins, and we do too, obviously. But it's the type of player where is it Alcala? I think it's Alcala. Dropped. But like I'd be targeting other teams' eighth inning guys if you think that they can become closers.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy either. I just think like you have room here to make an investment in the bullpen again, like a legit investment. You made two real investments in Martin and Jansen. I'm fine if you want to say at this point you only want to make one. Just make sure you get someone where it's dependable back there and you don't have to have the conversation. Because I like Tanner Scott, but I don't think anyone would sit there and say, well, that's definitely your lockdown closer for the next 4 years.
No.
But someone who can fill the role and has at least had success doing it. Like even in San Diego, right, where he's not closing games all the time, he's still shown to be really good. It's a 2.45 ERA, 2.35 FIP.
Yeah, just really reminds me of Blue Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And some beers can say that they're brewed for baseball, but only Blue Moon is brewed by baseball. Beer and baseball, they just go together. And no beer goes better than the one that was literally born in a ballpark. Blue Moon was created at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. It's the natural choice for opening day and all season long. Gonna be drinking some Blue Moons in Kansas City this weekend with my pal Coley Mick. Be sucking down those moons, baby. In the fresh Kansas City air.
My favorite air.
Yeah. Probably gonna have some. Can we have Blue Moons on the plane?
I think that's legal.
Yeah. Couple of mile-high moons.
Oh, since we're talking moons, have you heard about this second moon we're getting?
No, I feel like that's got to be fake.
I was early to this. Remember Moon 2?
No.
From Name Redacted? I have been a big believer. Jake remembers. I see that look on his
I remember
face.
you brought it up. You asked me about it. And I didn't care for it then, but we are officially getting a second temporary moon.
All right, we need to talk about this. From its refreshing flavor with a Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon is brewed by Baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that is one-of-a-kind? Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a perfect beer experience for spring weather. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Bring the ballpark to you with Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale. It's a one of a kind every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. What are you guys talking about? There's a second moon?
Suck one. Yeah. We're getting an asteroid that isn't like coming at us. It's not a threat. It's just going to join our gravitational pull and orbit us for a couple of months and then head back to the asteroid belt where it comes from.
Oh, so it's just like a temp moon.
Yeah. He's just, trying it out for a little bit. He's like, do I have what it takes to be a real moon? And he's going to give it a whirl. I'm rooting for him personally.
What's the size compared to the regular moon?
The illustrations make it seem like it's a pretty hefty asteroid. Now, space.com, we all love space.com. It says this month, Earth will grab itself a second moon in the form of the tiny asteroid 2024 PT5.
Don't insult it.
That's what I mean. I don't like that we're talking shit. He could change course and be an attack guy.
Yeah.
The new mini moon will stick around for just 2 months before it heads back to its home in an asteroid belt, trailing our planet and orbiting the sun.
We should destroy this thing.
See, like, why
are they so sure that this is what it's going to do? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like a threat.
Yeah, it's like, there's this little bitch asteroid coming. He's just going to do what it's told and then go home after we tell him to leave. Like that, I don't like the taunting aspect of the way that was written.
No, I don't like that at all. The object is going to pay us a visit. Belongs to the Arjuna
pay
asteroid
us a visit,
belt.
dude. That sounds like I'm going to get jumped or something. Like you're going to take my money.
You guys are so scared of everything. A secondary asteroid belt made up of space rocks that follow orbits very similar to that of Earth. An average distance to the sun of about 93 million miles. Research lead author in Universidad Complutense de Madrid. So Madrid was on this. Carlos de la Fuente Marcos told Space.com. Objects in the Arjuna asteroid belt are part of the near-Earth object population of asteroids and comets. I guess we're close to asteroids always. This is what I'm finding out. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I'm being told this. Yeah, they're 2.8 million miles near us at all times. I don't like that. That's too close. Under these conditions, the geocentric energy of the object may grow negative, and the object may become a temporary moon. I don't like the use of the word may there. That makes it seem like they're not.
It's like, we're hoping it doesn't fucking
this particular
penetrate
object
the atmosphere, but
will undergo
we got Glenn on the second floor who says we're good, so...
You may say that if a true satellite is like a customer buying goods inside a store, objects like 2024 PT.
What if he likes what he sees? Then
called him a window shopper. It says this is a window shopper.
Yeah,
his money's no
bitch
good
asteroid.
Yeah, I don't love the tone. This sounds like something they would say if it was gonna kill us all, and they were just trying not to cause a panic.
Yeah.
Also,
like, why wouldn't they say nothing at all then? At that point, like now we're talking asteroids.
There's a related article that I don't love the title of.
What does it say?
It said related. Collisions could increase chance of, quote, God of Destruction asteroid Apophis hitting Earth. I don't like the sound of this at all.
I would just prefer to be if the asteroids are coming, like I would just prefer to be in the blast zone.
100%. You get in the tsunami zone, that is the worst way to die.
Not even the tsunami zone, the fucking ice age zone. Like when it blocks out the sun and then the temperature of Earth goes to negative 3,000 degrees and you freeze to death.
That still doesn't sound as bad as like
Friday.
Imagine you're sitting there, like you're in, I'm not going to say where you live, but you're in your town you live in, and it hits the Atlantic Ocean, and you're watching the water. Like this is the
whoa.
Excuse me. That was crazy.
You just got ocean docks where I live, dude?
Just imagine the biggest tsunami, like so tall you can't even imagine, just completely coming over you. No.
You would die so quick, you probably wouldn't.
I can't.
Like the impact of the 12-story wave hitting my house, like there's no way I would survive very long in that. You'd be crushed by all the shit. I would die on a fucking tripod up my ass.
So what I don't love already, I don't love that it's called the God of Destruction. That's not like
yeah.
For how much disrespect we gave the mini moon, we're giving this guy all the respect in the world.
Yeah, it's like we can have a hurricane, we just call it like Carl, and it's like, well, that doesn't sound as threatening, but this asteroid is the God of Destruction. Okay.
Do you know the target date, Jared? I don't like the target date.
Is it this year or next year?
It's 2029.
Oh. What date would really chap your ass? What is it? Is it during the playoffs?
No, it just says Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes that feels like it has like less credibility, if we're being honest.
Oh, I feel like it has all the credibility.
13 is my lucky number, so I don't fear Friday the 13th. I get excited for those.
I don't love this.
I mean, it's 2029. Like, who cares?
I'll be done.
How old will we be by then? 6? Yeah, I'll be in my 40s. Bro. Who cares? Yeah, God, take me now. God of Destruction, choose me.
Damn. I'd be in my 30s.
Yeah, 30s are awesome.
Lord, take me.
Yeah, my 20s sucked. It's just all blogging. Just grinding.
They've been tracking this guy since 2004. Like we just got one telescope on. They're like, keep an eye on that fucking thing, all right, Tony? If you lose the God of Destruction, your ass is gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you gotta have eyes on the God of Destruction. That's not so one that you just look the other way.
So that's what it doesn't have this. What are the sizes on this fucking thing? So it's gonna pass within 19,000 miles. That's fucking close.
That's super close.
Yeah, you're feeling
That's way too close.
You can definitely hear it whizzing.
Oh yeah.
Just everybody
like a fastball by the ear hole.
Yeah.
That one Williard dodged.
Yeah. The God of Destruction, what are they comparing the size to?
I'm trying to
picture it.
I feel like you get a prize though if it hits the Earth at the same point.
It says
like
1,000 foot wide.
That's not even that big.
Feels like it's pretty big.
1,000 feet?
Yeah.
That's like if like Aaron Judge hit like what? 2 home runs?
So it says it won't come close to the devastation caused 65 million years ago by the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Millions of people would die. They make that quite clear.
Millions?
Yeah, millions
But
of people.
from a
would
percentage
die.
Millions not even a
standpoint,
lot. Like
it
there's
isn't.
there's 8
Listen.
million people in New York City. It's
Listen,
like
that's what they're saying. They don't know where it's going to hit. If we discover it's on a collision course during its next passages in 2029, 2036, and 2068. So it's going to have a couple cracks at us. It sounds like we would have some options to attempt to divert it. A small impact could shift the god of destruction space rock toward Earth. Another small collision could reorientate its trajectory away. I don't know. I don't know that we have the right people on this job.
Something I'm into, redirecting them at other planets. I'd like to see what it looks like if it hits Mars or something like that.
it would
I feel
burn
like
up.
that has some that has to have some consequences towards us too.
Yeah, we might like start falling or something like
We
that.
might
isn't
start a war with Mars. Like how
Also
do we?
that.
Well, no, we own Mars. We have property on Mars now.
No, we don't.
Isn't there like a robot or something we got over there?
We've got some rovers. They just posted a picture of Earth from Mars.
10 years.
Yeah, I don't want to blow up Mars.
No,
We can do Venus or one
Mars
of the
didn't
lesser
do
planets.
Get Pluto, get farther away. You're getting
Pluto
way too
is
close.
so essential to everything.
No, it couldn't be less
Little
essential.
Moon is like Pluto.
Right.
did they let Pluto back in? Is
Nope.
Pluto a planet?
I believe they did. I believe Pluto's been let back in.
I want it kind of like makes you think, like what did Pluto do that they're like covering up? It's like MJ. It's like he didn't want to play baseball.
I thought you were talking Michael Jackson for a second.
No, like Pluto did some shit where they were like, we can't even tell the NASA about this. So they kicked him out as a planet, but then to like bring him back in, it's like, it's a little,
Yeah, I wanna
little
know-
sus.
What's up with this disc on Saturn? Is it really a disc? That's what I want to see. Does the asteroid get cut in half by the disc?
No, it's dust.
Yeah, it is dust.
Hmm.
Confirmed dust.
Mhm.
Although, what was Saturn? One of the planets has like a constant hurricane going on top of it. That I was
Neptune.
looking at the other day, and it looked just terrifying. Like just
Isn't it Neptune?
proper terrifying.
The Great Red Spot. Oh, Jupiter.
No. That's way more chaotic than what I'm talking about.
The dark storm, Coley?
What planet are we talking?
Neptune.
Okay.
It's 4,600 miles across.
Jake. I was right. It was Neptune.
No, this wasn't what I was talking about. This is
Oh,
correct. You're not wrong about, but what I was referencing was not this. This is just, it might have been, was it Saturn?
nah, Saturn's,
is Saturn.
Saturn's kind of like
No, Saturn's
Margaritaville.
got this hexagon storm on the top, which we just got.
Saturn's
images of.
chill, dude. Saturn's like
Saturn
the
is
Aruba of
not
the
chill.
planets.
No.
Saturn's super chill. You don't want to go to Jupiter.
Jupiter's
Great
got some
Red
chill
Spot.
moons.
The Great Red Spot is a persistent high pressure region in the atmosphere of Jupiter, producing an anti-cyclonic storm that is the largest in the solar system. It is the most recognizable feature on Jupiter, owing to its red-orange color, whose origin is still unknown.
Yeah, Jupiter fucks hard.
Yeah, Jupiter. Which planet has a fierce hurricane? Megastorms occur approximately every 20 to 30 years on Saturn and are similar to hurricanes on Earth, although significantly larger. Unlike Earth's hurricanes, no one knows what causes megastorms in Saturn's atmosphere, which is composed mainly of hydrogen and helium with traces of methane, water, and ammonia. How do we know that? Have we been to Saturn?
No. This is
No,
bullshit.
so Me and my father used to get into arguments about this all the time. He was saying they're able to identify, like, if they've seen shit here, they can take that and extract it to space. So under a microscope, certain things, or I guess telescope in this case, certain atoms and elements will react the exact same regardless, and so we can kind of explain things that way. I always called that nonsense, but that is how they do this. But no, they have a 20,000 mile wide hexagon on top of Saturn that is a jet stream composed of air moving at about 200 miles an hour always. And they thought it was just like this one cloud, and now they realize, like, oh no, it's the whole top.
Yeah. And you still think that there's no like megalodon in the ocean?
100%, dude.
They're not even looking. They're like, let's look up. Down's horrifying. Let's just fucking look up. We'll figure it out.
How do we not have the technology though to look down? It's right
Because
there.
you'll explode. It's like the submarine
the
thing.
pressure.
I mean, we've done it.
Not in the marina.
And James
French,
Cameron's
though, right?
done it. No one else has done it.
Robert
Only
Ballard
Jim.
did it. Robert Ballard did it.
He went deeper than Cameron? I don't think so.
Where the fuck did James Cameron go?
Cameron, like, purposefully built his own craft so he could be the guy who went deepest in the ocean.
How
He
deep
got to
did
a
he
depth
go?
of 10,900 meters.
Yeah, that's meters. M.
James Cameron made a record-breaking solo dive to Earth's lowest point, successfully piloting a submarine nearly 11 kilometers deep to the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
What's his problem? Why is James Cameron like? Imagine being. Jake? How much James Cameron worth?
Got to be hundreds, maybe a bill.
Is he a Billy? James Cameron's net worth $800 million. And you're tempting fate going to the bottom of the ocean all the time.
But when you get to that level, it's like you don't feel anything unless you're starting to like walk like, you know, human history here. Like you're doing something nobody's ever like done before. This is the only thing that's going to give you some form of accomplishment.
Is this right that what's his fucking name? Steven Spielberg's a multi-billionaire?
I mean, he got in the game so early, probably.
How the hell?
5.3, yeah, I believe that.
God.
Peter
Lucas-
Jackson, 1.5 billion. Steven Spielberg, 8 billion. George Lucas, $10 billion.
So I'm getting different numbers for them. I got 5.3 for Spielberg and 4.9 for Lucas.
Same here.
Bro, either way, it's
Sure.
a lot of money. It's enough money to fucking treat the Titanic like it's going to the corner store. This dude's just like, yeah, you guys want to go to the Titanic? And they go.
But yeah, space is horrifying. The sea is horrifying. Don't care for any of it.
Mexico's horrifying, according to
Yeah,
Jared.
to some people, yeah.
Parts of it. Just like the ocean. Space to me, I got nothing to do with space. I got no problem with space. I got no interest in space. It's kind of like sharks and humans, right? They'll nudge you. They'll nudge you to see if they want to eat you, but they usually don't.
You guys ever see the Red Bull video of that person who went to like the most outer layer
Oh yeah.
and jumped
me out.
I watched that for the first time the other day, and it was seriously the most traumatizing thing I've ever sat down and
What is
watched.
it?
This person, they did it for Red Bull. It was like a sponsored thing. They went to the most outer layer of the Earth atmosphere, basically like skydiving from space. and they lived. It is like the most scary. Like the dude blacked out, like while he's in there, like completely went out at one point. Like he was like, he felt his skin like burning. Basically, he was like, "It's hot, it's hot."
Quite high.
And he just made it.
Do that.
Red Bull, man. Red Bull's got the wildest. I know it's not why they do it. They've got the wildest Instagram page on the planet.
I see that diving chick all over the place right now. She's like diving in different areas.
Huh.
Yeah, there are some divers out there for sure.
We love divers.
Mm-hmm.
We also love Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. Tyler, when's the next time you're going to go to Fenway? Probably next year?
Yeah, more likely than not at this point.
Yeah. You've already fulfilled your quota for the year for just one game?
Anything could happen over the next couple days. My mom's birthday is coming up, though, so, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, you can't miss that one.
It's her 63rd, man.
Yeah, that's big.
How old's your mom?
My mom? She's 41. I'm going to have... I'm probably going to get some tickets to the last homestand. I always like to go to the last one. So I'm going to use Game Time. The curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The all-in pricing, once you toggle this feature, it shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your tickets. The lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10, SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Tyler, what time is it?
Game time.
Yeah, it's game time. It is game time. Red Sox lose 2-0.
I will add, in that second game and the first game between those, I liked what I saw from Tristan Casas. Homer in the first game. That's a lot closer to the guy that hasn't been around much. But the second game went 1 for 3, had that double, should have had another double that got robbed in left field right up by the fence. Looked good defensively as well. Need more of that. It's kind of crazy what happens when you let him play 3 days in a row. He actually starts to look, like he's somewhat finding himself a little bit.
Why are the fucking the pea brains on Reddit saying that I have an anti-Casas agenda? That feels very fake and false. I love Tristan Casas.
You had baseball hour this week? That's what people were connecting it
but
to, right?
like Maz's quotes were being attributed to me.
Yeah.
Like,
so as someone
said that I said Casas was uncoachable. I never said that. I never said that.
Sounds like you.
I never said that.
Sounds like how you talk.
An article from The Athletic last summer, because we talked about it last week, me, him, and McCarthy, of Carlos Feblis at the time talking about Casas not exactly adapting to some of the defensive drills they wanted him to do at that point in time. He was kind of doing his own thing. He had his own program. As we know now, he ended up making those changes and, starting to listen to the coaching staff in that department. But it carries with the narrative that maybe some people don't think he's willing to listen to coaches because he believes his way of doing things is the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely been rumblings of a little bit of annoyance where it's like, you're doing this, but how is this going to help you? There's a little bit of that, I would say. But I think as far as Casas goes, I've been pretty clear about how I feel about it. Like, I like him a lot. I love him. I want him on the team. But at the end of the day, if you can get a frontline starting pitcher for him, then I like Coley's plan of flipping Casas for pitching and then signing Vladdy in a year or two. I would love that. I mean, I don't think it's a matter of get this guy the fuck out of here. Like, I certainly don't feel that way. But if he's going out and a stud starting pitcher is coming in, then okay, you have my attention. But I
It's
don't
an
think
avenue-
you don't just trade a guy.
No,
'Cause
I think
he's
that's where
little
some people.
odd.
There's certain parts of the fan base that just want him shipped out because they never liked the guy, or they want to claim, after they couldn't say a friggin' word for 3 months last summer, all off season long as well. Now they're hoping to jump back on, be like, oh, get him out of here. I think you can be willing
That's
to have
stupid.
the conversation.
It's a dumb reason to trade a guy.
Exactly. But it's the same thing. Like, Marcelo Meyer. Do I want to trade Marcelo Meyer? No. But, is it a conversation more likely than not you're going to have in some capacity?
They're going to have
Sure.
lots of conversations about lots of different guys.
It's going to be the offseason. Just all I'm saying is for a guy who has done what Casas did in the big leagues last year, don't underestimate that, because knowing what a guy can do is meaningful at that level.
Yeah. No, like any trade of Tristan Casas is a compliment to him. It's not we're giving up on this guy. It's a, hey, like we have a piece of that's valuable to another team, but we need pitching help, and this is how we do it. Like that's really all it is.
Well, it's also painful when you sit there and they have the money they could dish out as well to go get these guys, and you start to have these conversations.
Well,
you do
who
need
do you
to
want?
figure out the logjam. Max Fried.
I don't think I want Corbin Burns.
Nope.
Yeah,
Max Fried.
Yeah, you could do that.
I think that's now he has to want to come here as well, right? That's
He
the
does.
other half of the conversation.
He
I've
does.
also talked about I'm into Shane Bieber, but would that be enough for me? No, I still think
No.
either way you should add 2 arms. But Bieber, you don't even know if he's going to be ready for opening day.
He's gonna be ready for opening day.
Oh,
I don't know.
he
if
did
that's
have
true.
traditional Tommy John as well.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't talk about baseball.
Do you think he'd like Boston, Jared?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. He I mean he's very close with Plawecki still, and Plawecki loves Boston. So yeah, I think it's not like he hasn't been here. Like he's been here and there, and I think he pitched really well here with the guards. But yeah, like he knows I love it. He knows Plawecki loves it. Yeah, Biebs would definitely love Boston. So we'll see. That would be very enticing to me. But it can't be the only pitching move that you make. Can't be.
That would just feel very Red Sox the last few years.
And you'd have to give
there'd be some
something up.
Giolito to it.
But
that's a trade.
Some
Yeah, some
Hendricks.
Paxton.
Nah, Biebs is better than Paxton.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're signing the hurt guy and hoping he can be who he was.
Yeah.
Um,
But I have faith that he would be, because he fixed the problem. Like the dude was hurt.
Sure. I don't necessarily disagree, but I do agree with both of you. It can't be the only move.
Can't be
like
the
if
only
I'm entering promo code Jared on Underdog Fantasy, I'm taking the higher 1.5 pitchers needed
Mm-hmm.
for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. Starting pitchers.
I mean, all pitchers higher 4.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need an entirely new bullpen.
I'm not against either, like Guerrero, Penrod, Slayton. Like
I don't even look at Penrod as a bullpen guy, though.
I think we should. If we're not looking at him with like Priester and Fitz, like we were talking about before, I think that's a weapon. You know what I mean? Like, don't stop Garrett Whitlocking people. Not you, but the Red Sox.
I think with Penrod, the only thing that would separate him from the rest of the group is he's a lefty. So it's like, are you starving to have some kind of lefty arm? I don't know. I wouldn't fixate that much on it, but I do think the way they've handled Penrod down the stretch here, there is real interest in him being a reliever. Partially, I think it's because of age and where he's at. He's going to be 28 next year. So it's not one of those things that you really want him sitting down in AAA for another year. These guys only have so many bullets. So, like, do you want someone who can sit 96, 97 from the left side out there? I think that more likely than not, because he has command questions as well, is probably where he fits in best. Like, if you're projecting long term, because even if you go AA, it was a 3.3 walk per 9. You even go back to last year, it was a little crazier. That feels like a guy more likely than not ends up in the bullpen once you get to that point. I just think they were so surprised at the way he was moving through. There was no reason to even question that until, you got to the workload conversation at the end of this year.
Like if they got like Bieber and Severino, or Bieber and Flaherty, or Bieber
Ooh,
and
I like that combo.
Bieber and Flaherty.
Yeah.
But we know they didn't even talk to Flaherty or at least seriously this last offseason.
They didn't talk. They didn't make him an offer. Yeah.
Right. And they didn't trade for, and I'm not saying they had to go trade for him, but it was a huge need and he did get moved and they didn't seem all that interested. Like, I just don't think they particularly like him, which is a different problem.
Flaherty, Fried, and Giolito would be the full Westlake High, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a cool little fun storyline. Not that I think it's going to happen, but I don't know. You make some
That would be
calls
cool.
to people you're friends with.
I'm friends with all of them.
Get to it, Jared. You've done it before.
Flaherty, Fried, and Giolito. Yes. I mean, and Biebs. Those are my guys. That'd be nice to have people on the team that
Bregman's your guy?
Bregman's my guy too. Yeah, imagine
gonna
that.
get Jared's
We get
friends.
all my friends on the team.
Not the way we need to go.
Save us.
You don't want fucking Max Fried, Jack Flaherty, and Alex Bregman and Shane Bieber on the Red Sox?
Like if it's all of them, no. No, I'm not like
Why
super
not?
high on the four of them.
Why not?
Half those guys are over 30.
They make your team better. You'd rather put
Maybe. I mean, Flaherty of last year was bad. And I was still like ready to take a
unmotivated.
flyer on him because of where we were. But the Orioles traded for him and they were like, fuck out of here, dude.
Also has concerning medicals that, are seemingly lowering what trades are.
Right. The Yankees did not trade for him because of that. Like, he was a Yankee. The
I
Yankees
saw
were
his
like,
medicals. They were fine.
Oh,
no, for sure.
breaking news.
Mhm.
Did Severino pitch again today?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. Severino sitting here with 3.79. Like, he would have been our second best pitcher this year if we had signed him this last offseason.
Isn't that someone you think the Mets would be like, we're going to keep this guy?
Maybe. The Mets have a lot of holes too, and he's only ever pitched in New York, obviously. So, but I don't know. Like, he got a 1-year deal last year. I don't know what his market's going to look like. I think people are always going to look at him as the guy who got hurt all the time in the Yankees.
How old is he? 31?
He'll
Next
be
year will be
31 next
31.
year. Yeah.
I could see him getting 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Sure.
It's like, what do you think Cutter is going to end up being? I think like Luis Severino, if we're kind of having like that conversation, because he's another guy I don't think like I'll ever look at as like a workhorse in that capacity. It's nice that he got to 172 innings this year. Hey, Cutter Crawford's at 171, and you
He's
look at
he's
Severino.
at 178.
Yeah, so coming after tonight, right?
Yeah.
So both guys like have hit the 30 start point. I will say Severino's ERA looks better, but the FIP's like 4.21. Doesn't miss as many bats as Cutter. Is just giving up less homers. It's a 1.1 home run per 9. It's a 1.7 for
massive.
Cutter. It's just, do you think Cutter at this point in time, like, is this the ceiling or is there another step to go? Can he lessen the home run problems after his first year of starting? Because if he lowers the homers, you should get right about where you need to be. I think it's pretty similar production to Severino at that point.
I don't know if I can say this is his first year of starting.
Full time?
23 starts last year.
He got jerked back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that that's not his fault.
In 23?
Yeah. Like,
We were begging for more Cutter Crawford in 2023.
sure, and it was a 4.04 ERA. He's got 4.19 this year. Like, it's not. Oh, he had 17 home runs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not denying that he's serviceable, but Severino was like and I'm not even saying he's this guy anymore. He was a Cy Young candidate. Yeah, top 10 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I
What was
just I
that,
don't
18,
view him.
19?
Yeah. 17, 18.
Yeah, I think he's a number 4. I think that's what I view. Luis
Severino?
Yeah, he's a number 4. to
Oh,
me.
come on. No.
At this point in time?
He's better than fucking your 4, 5. Like, he would be a 3 here.
I mean,
I
here
would've-
he'd be a 2 as
Yeah,
currently
based on what your
constructed.
rotation is. But you look at the last couple of years, like he's a year removed from a 6.65 ERA and a 6.14 FIP in almost
No
20
doubt.
starts.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not saying that it's. If he had a pristine track record, he wouldn't have gotten a 1 year
Yeah.
off of the Mets.
I think he's the kind of guy, like, the stuff can play out, but like the K per 9 has gone down for another year in a row. It's now at 7.8 this year. Like that takes another step back. You're going to start having real problems.
Yes and no. It's like I understand the Ks are something you can control. As he's gotten older, I think part of the reason he had injury concerns is because it was 12.8, 12, 10.3, 10.7. Like, I do think there are other ways to pitch than just hunting strikeouts. You see it with Bayo. When Bayo's strikeout numbers went up, I got nervous because I was like, all right, is he throwing instead of pitching? Like, I understand. Obviously, yeah, you want Paul Skeens, no doubt. But like, you even look at a guy like Frankie Montas, what he's done since the trade deadline. I don't like talking like this guy can only do this, this guy can only do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying Luis Severino isn't worth like having a conversation about. I just like, I don't know. Is it enough for me between the price as well? The difference between him and Cutter Crawford, I don't know if it's enough for me to, boot him over one or the other. Maybe if you said like, hey, we just want Cutter in the bullpen and that's where things work. It's a similar arm. All right, I could understand you, but like you said, what is Severino going to get, like 3 years, 4 years this offseason?
I mean, who knows? Maybe, but
maybe it's like 2 years in an option because of the injury history.
Right. That's what I don't know. We saw what happened with pitchers last year. I assume the market will be different this year, but Montgomery, Snell, these are all guys who have better track records than everyone we've talked about so far, and they got dick.
Yeah, that's pitching at that point. Like, you're going to take the risk. Like, anyone would have told you would have got at least 150 innings out of Giolito, and you got none. You got zero this year. You didn't get a single one.
Speaking of dick.
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Stop and Shop. Look ahead. Stop and Shop.
Fuck yeah, fuck yes.
Look ahead.
Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, blue look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, blue look ahead.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
What's better than having to Stop and Shop, getting it done for all of you?
Literally nothing. There's literally nothing in this world that is better than Stop and Shop getting it done for all of you. Nothing.
Infuriating that we're at this Twin Series and it doesn't mean anything at all. Because, I mean, I think if it weren't for the other teams getting in the mix, then you'd be like, oh, like the series could mean something, but it doesn't. Game 1 starter is Dick Fitz. Game 1 starter going up against David Festa. Cutter Crawford versus Pablo Lopez.
Ooh.
And Nick Pivetta versus Zebby Matthews. Like, these aren't real people, dude. Like, they should... Like, the mid...
Former top 100 prospect, Zebby Matthews.
The halfway through June, all of July, Boston Red Sox wiped their ass with this team. They just do. David Festa has an ERA over 5. Pablo Lopez, I respect. Great guy. Also has dominated the Red Sox this year. Zebby Matthews. Like, Zebby, that sounds like an, like an old-timey baseball. Here and now, here he comes. Zebby Matthews out there. He's going to throw his screwball, his patented spitball out there, Zebby Matthews. His ERA is over 6.
Zebby's going to shove it up our asshole.
Yeah, he's got 7 career starts.
No, I know. I can't remember the stat when he got called up. No one threw more strikes in all of minor league baseball than Zebby Matthews. It was something like that. Like, he just pounds the zone.
First 3 starts at 3 ERA. Last 4 a 9.60. Yeah. Does anyone even care to do predictions? We're just letting people know. I bet you Steve is available to, like, see, that's the thing. Like, my power went out and I sat out for 40 minutes and I sat here in the dark. And then when I came back on, I came on the pod. Steve was probably done working at what, 10:30? It's midnight. He could have done the last hour and a half of the show, no doubt.
Should we give him a call?
No.
Banned.
No, because if he wanted to be here, he would be here. But now I'm like at the point where I'm like, hey, what's the weather? Don't know. No idea. I have no idea what the weather is going to be this weekend.
People are going to burn to death.
He has no idea about the God of War asteroid coming to kill us all.
I almost envy him for that. Like he gets to go to sleep tonight being like, there's no asteroid coming towards Earth.
In 29.
Yeah, he is snoozing right now. Not a thought in that big fucking head of his about the god of death, destruction. Not a thought.
None.
None.
Just has no idea.
I envy him. To be that naive. To be that ignorant. Like you're just safe.
No one's safe.
The ocean. Space.
All right, we're going to be going
Mexico,
to bed in 30 minutes. I'm getting anxious here.
The big three. The big three of danger.
Mexico.
Yep. You don't know. Antarctica is probably up there. Who knows? I mean, like,
That's
who's
where the
there?
aliens are.
What's the population of Antarctica, Jake?
Off the top of my head, it's got to be like 10 or 15.
God, not even close.
Tyler, what do you think?
It's 5,000 during the summer and 1,000 during the colder months.
Dude,
that's pretty close. Like 15 is close to 1,000 when you consider, like, if Jake guessed the population of New York City, he's way off.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close for the population of Antarctica, which is where I asked him. Pretty close.
Like, what are those 1,000 people doing?
Oh, they are fucking. What is it called? Docking? When you put your dicks together?
Guys don't respect the Antarctica people.
That's what they're doing down there.
A quick peel.
Yeah.
Quick peel and pull.
Yeah. That's what they're doing down there. What else are they going to do? There's no internet. There's no TV.
There's internet.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
There's no way.
Winter?
Yes.
No, there's no way.
So.
How do you think they film down there?
You don't need internet to film.
It's a content creating hub right now. It's just at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's people go down there and they get footage and then they come back to civilization and they post it. There's no way. There's
no.
No.
I've seen people tweet from Antarctica.
Like, what you calling Comcast being like, hey, like, I got a problem with my internet. Can you come by and fix it? Like, no, because I don't live in Antarctica.
Oh, how the internet reaches Antarctica. And there's pictures of penguins on this website.
Yeah.
The penguins are the Wi-Fi
You call
signals.
up like, hey, like Xfinity, can you come by and fix my cable? It's a penguin on the phone.
But listen, Jim, we had this conversation last time. I need you to flip on down here and fix my fucking antenna.
Netflix banned in Antarctica.
See,
good.
Netflix doesn't want people to go there.
What are you even fucking with in the background? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been telling you.
Problematic.
Dude, clean
I've
the
always been a
shit out of
YouTube
your
guy.
ears. You were
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. These kids don't listen these days. It's just guy's just on the phone talking to a penguin. It's like, dude, penguin doesn't speak English. It's like, oh man.
There's no permanent human population here. So Jake was super close.
Yeah. It's a rotating cast.
Yeah.
Source?
AntarcticaCruises.com. Personnel cycle in and out of Antarctica, hence the fact of no permanent human population here, despite human presence across the year.
Yeah. It's like there's no CVS there.
No. 11 people have been born in Antarctica. 11.
11. So pretty much what Jake said.
No, it's 5,000.
No.
I've seen the kitchen.
Huh?
There's videos of like the kitchen hall everybody eats at.
Yeah, have you seen the videos in the winter where the door accidentally blows open and they can't get it shut due to the wind?
I have seen that.
Yeah, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Quack, quack, quack. Don't you use that language with me, Jim.
Right. Yeah, tone it down, dude.
If you were to choke a penguin, how would you choke it?
Oh my God.
It doesn't really have like a neck area if you think about it. Like if you're just trying to like grab that thing, like you hold its beak shut or something like that.
We don't choke penguins around here.
No, heavens no.
No.
Although I will say, funniest tweet I've seen in the last couple of days was the guy who was like, I would toss moo dang on the smoker for about 12 hours.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Big content guy tossed that one out there. Very funny. Very funny tweet. Yeah, I'd smoke moo dang on the for 12 hours like a brisket.
That thing's ungrateful as hell.
Wow.
Moo dang?
Yeah, it's just biting all the time. It's
Kneecaps.
never not biting.
Yeah. It happens.
I'd pet it.
It happens. Quack, quack.
It's like, dude, the internet's been down for 3 weeks. I got 5 channels, Jim. I got 5. We're down to 3.
Quack, quack, quack. Like, no, I get it. It's cold.
I get it. You know, it's 5:15. Your shift ended at 5. But I mean, what am I supposed to do? Wait another day?
It's cold enough to jerk off. I'd like to do it at least to some videos.
Right. The Section 10 out of context tweet has Sexy Red. Sexy Red, me being afraid of Mexico.
Big Mexico.
Me working with the penguins in the aquarium, and Steve being asleep while an asteroid is crashing through the window. Sound asleep. Well, yeah.
What's up, Jeremy?
That was excellent.
Unbelievably funny.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, if you guys are going to Fenway this weekend and you are looking for the weather, we don't have it.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, point all your complaints at Steve_Peralt on Twitter and let them know how upset you are. If it ends up raining this weekend and you weren't prepared, send all your pictures and videos of you fighting for your life to Steve_Peralt on Twitter.
No,
there's nothing he's going to do.
That's all we know. No asteroids.
Not yet. Not for a few more years.
No. Or maybe next weekend based on us insulting, not us, but humans insulting
the
window shopping asteroid.
I think we showed the asteroid a lot of respect.
Ton.
Final thoughts, Coley?
Yeah, the Red Sox have made a signing in 2 years. That's just kind of what we do.
That sounds illegal. No?
You would think.
Watch your mouth.
You would think the I've ranted about it before and people never seem to understand what I'm saying. The system with Japan very fair system. The system with Latin America, perhaps not as fair in my eyes. Some people disagree.
Hot take.
Claudio Pereira, 15-year-old right-hand pitcher from Marília, Brazil, will be signing with the Boston Red Sox on International Signing Day in 2026. So not even this upcoming class, the next one. He is the top Brazilian prospect in the 26 class and is expected to be one of the most expensive international amateur pitchers from any country. Love that we're tapping into Brazil, one of the largest countries on the planet. They have to have some talent there. Love the name Claudio Pereira, too.
When did they start playing baseball in Brazil?
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's such a big country.
It's a big country, and I love Brazil. Let me rephrase that. I love Brazilians.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to Brazil, but I know many Brazilians. They're great people. But I've never known a big league baseball player to have hailed from Brazil. When I think Brazil, I think soccer. I think footy.
Big basketball country, too.
I'm looking at the 2023 World Baseball Classic qualifier team, and I'm not seeing anything familiar here.
Okay.
Brazil.
So Marília is like kind of dead center.
Jan Gomes is Brazilian?
Okay.
That sounds right.
Okay. This says Bo Bichette, so this list is this is malarkey. Bo Bichette, I mean, he was conceived at the gym across the street from Fenway. That's not Brazil. That's
Andre
Boston.
Rienzo?
Huh?
He was the first Brazilian-born pitcher to play in Major League Baseball.
List of Major League Baseball players from Brazil. Jan Gomes.
Rienzo last
I guess
pitched in
there's
2015.
a few. I mean, like, we're looking at like what, 5 people in the history, how the world's been around for 4.5 billion years.
Yeah, it's
Sure,
legit
but
5 people.
Like, you think like Chien-Ming Wang was.
That's a wild pronunciation of that name, but
How do you say it?
I believe it. What, Tyler?
I just spit my water out. That was crazy, Coley. I'm sorry. That was very Jorge
Can you say it
Posada of
again,
you.
Coley?
That was
Chien-Ming
very
Wang. What am I saying wrong?
You're saying Chien-Ming Wang?
Yeah.
It's Chien-Ming Wang.
Wrong. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it is an A, but it's pronounced Chien-Ming Wang, not Chien-Ming Wang.
I mean, it's for sure an A.
It's for sure
Oh
an
no,
A.
pronunciation legit just says Wong. W-O-N-G, like Connor
Listen,
Wong.
fair enough. You know?
Chien-Ming
We don't get 'em all
Wang.
right.
It happens to the best of us.
I'm also saying the pronunciation being things none of us can pronounce. So
Good take.
I know off rip it's spelled CHINIEN
Yep.
MING
Hyphenated, but yes.
Wang.
Yeah.
But it's Chien-Ming Wang, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't honestly think we were pronouncing either of the G's, if I recalled correctly, but it's been a long time since I've heard someone say his name out loud.
Chien-Ming Wang.
Chien-Ming Wang. Chien-Ming Wang is how I remember it.
The point is, not a lot of people were coming out of where he was coming out of when he started doing it.
Jake, book Chien-Ming Wang. I want to know.
There's a Netflix documentary on him? That feels...
I would be so in on that.
What?
Like we don't
Yeah,
need
didn't. All right, off top of my head, didn't he have back-to-back 19 win seasons for the Yankees?
I
He
believe
was
you're right.
cooking on... He got hurt running to first. Like, he was cooking until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-5,
06 and
19-6, 19-7.
Yeah. How many innings in those 19 win seasons? Did he get to 200?
Oh, yeah, he was real pitching. 218 and then 199.1. So he was right there.
Ooh.
Not giving up dingers.
Yeah, no one puts the respect on Chien-Ming Wang's name that he deserves. But he was a very good pitcher, and he had, dare I say, aura. He had mound presence.
He was a big fucker.
How tall is he? 6'5"?
It says 6'5", 225. It felt like he was bigger.
Why do I know so much about Chien-Ming Wang?
During those days, he was terrifying.
Am I a fan? I think I'm a fan.
Sounds like a huge fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but he pitched for the Yankees during a time where I couldn't say out loud that I liked a player in the Yankees. Like now I'm like, Judgy's my boy. I love Judgy. Love Judgy. And that's fine. Like I don't really catch a lot of flack for that. But back then, what year is this? 2006?
He signed in 2005, so it was really the best time to start being in on Yankees. And like if this were 2003, we'd hate his guts.
Yeah, but like I feel like once they got Damon, we were like, fuck these motherfuckers again.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was like we laughed at them for 2005.
Right.
But then 2006 it was back on again. Like it was like fuck you. Like
but then 7 we won again, so it was just like, oh, they just stink.
Yeah, now we're like lapping you. Yeah. But 06 it was hot in the streets.
Shout out the Instagram comments on the video where we were shitting on Garrett Cole, where all the Yankee fans were talking. God. And it was just like, how could you guys be talking about the Yankees series directly after the Yankees series? It's just like these people, they'll never get it.
They got rocks for brains, as we say.
Big rocks.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, I'm excited for the Chien-Ming Wang episode. Apparently we're getting them.
Former Royal.
Former National too, right?
Yep. Yeah, but we're going to Kansas City literally tomorrow.
Do you remember the other team, Jared?
Pittsburgh?
Mm-mm.
Toronto?
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. I fucking love the guy, I guess. I didn't realize this.
Biggest Chien-Ming Wang guy.
Yeah, I didn't realize this. I'm learning a lot about myself tonight. Petrified in Mexico, love Chien-Ming Wang.
And you'll like stop everything to be like, you did not pronounce his name correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a respect thing.
They signed him in 2000? That's crazy.
He spent all those years, 5 years in the minors?
Unless he just stayed over there and then they brought him over. It just says May 5th, 2000, signed by New York Yankees as amateur free agent.
How old was he when he got called up? Like 26?
I think it's 25.
Yeah, he was in the minors starting in 2000.
That's crazy. He must have been dealing in the minors. He was 25 and 30 days when he got called up.
Missed a whole year in 2001.
Tyler, final thoughts?
Shout out to Christian Campbell, named the 2024 Minor League Player of the Year by Keith Law.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, Franklin Arias also ended up on that list as an honorable mention, who, is now in the Baseball America Top 100.
Yeah.
On the negative side with Christian Campbell as well, he has been placed on the IL, the 7-day IL.
Who cares? Who cares? Yeah.
Whoa, come on.
Yeah, who cares?
We're not doing negative Christian Campbell thoughts ever.
Yeah, he's the Minor League Player of the Year. He got placed on the IL with 20 hours to go in the season? Yeah. Who cares? That is so irrelevant to the Christian Campbell news update. It's like, oh, game 162, he went on the IL and they're not going to play. Like, who cares? Like, is it an injury that's going to linger into next spring, do you think, Tyler?
No, but the comments were as Worcester makes their playoff push. They're not sure if they're going to have him back for the playoffs. If they do make it, they may just shut him down, according to Brian Abraham.
Cares?
I would like to see more Christian Campbell if possible.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would actually like to go to a playoff game if we can. Jake, book the polar bear. What's their mascot?
Smiley?
Smiley.
They've got 6 mascots.
Yeah, good.
They've
take
got a
from
lot of
Cole.
mascots. Yeah.
I
Why
will
is
also add
Polar
people-
is the soda, right? That's why it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah.
for people who thought I was upset about the framing of the Christian Campbell interview. I was not. We knew what the situation was ahead of time, and Jake did a great job.
What do you mean the framing?
People were like, Tyler's cut out. I was like, it was not on purpose. We knew going into the situation what it was going to be.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
But the
Yeah,
comments
check out
were
the
trying to
YouTube
cook.
page. We have an interview with Christian Campbell on the YouTube page as well.
Tyler heard him.
I did
What do you
not
think?
heard him. Whoa, let's not start that rumor. It's like Tyler just smacked him really hard on the back. And ever since then, something's been wrong.
Mm-hmm. Jake's takes.
I just can't wait to write this episode description because I'm not going to mention the Red Sox once.
We got a little, I mean, it's very funny because we did like 3 hours and 15 minutes of ball talk the last episode. And the feedback was like, man, this is when Section 10's at its best. The guys just talking Sox. This is the shit I like. Episode of the year, I feel. This is the best episode of the whole year. Just the boys talking Sox. And in this one, I mean, what did we talk about? We talked about a lot of space, a lot of ocean, a lot of travel,
Antarctica,
asteroids,
Woodstock 99.
Woodstock. Yeah, we did a lot. We opened with Ashley Simpson. We opened the show with Ashley Simpson. We got to a boy band. I don't even know. Like, it's not even like a debate. It was almost like a history lesson on boy bands.
Yeah.
I'd never seen you guys yell at each other like that.
We went through NSYNC's top 10 hits on the Billboard charts, and I sang all of them. This was a night that I'll remember forever. But this is a night that when Section 10 Night happens next year at Fenway Park, and people come and they wait in line and they finally get to the front of the line, the first thing they're going to say is, that episode with Steve where you guys talked about boy bands and Ashley Simpson and space and the ocean and Mexico and Antarctica and the and the penguins that work at Xfinity, that was my favorite episode. That was my first Section 10 episode. That's the one that I listened to, and it got me hooked. Ever since that episode, I've been hooked, and that's why I flew in from Hawaii to be here today.
It's why when you guys are like, oh man, or Tyler specifically, it's like on the Reddit, they hated that we didn't talk as much baseball. At the meet and greets, when we meet people who listen, I've never heard one person be like, man, that take you gave on the April Twins series, man, I go back and listen to that all the time. Not once. Not once.
No.
It's always Trash Island. It's always
Sogo,
McCock burgers, whatever we get, dildo burgers.
dildo burgers. It's always the ice horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the episodes that people will go back and rewatch and re-listen to like they're their favorite song, their favorite movie.
If there was a Red Sox series that we've ever had that you could say less about than this one. Sorry.
They didn't
On
do
post
anything.
game, they were legit like trying to have the conversation, and TC and Devin Marrero and Lenny DiNardo were like, yeah, man, like I really don't know what you want us to say. Like they showed like 30 seconds of Cora talk. You were like, all right, we're going to commercial. Like nobody wants to hear this shit.
Can you imagine if TC was just like, listen, we can talk about this series, or we can talk about the impending doom from the asteroid dove, the god of destruction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like Maz always gets so confused when it's this time of the year. The Red Sox are for sure out of it. And he'll send me the text and be like, what topics do you want to hit on tonight? And I'm just like, I don't fucking care. He'll be like, what do you guys talk about on your podcast? And I'm like, this time of year, not the Red Sox. I'll tell you that. And he's like, well, I don't have the luxury of being able to do that. And it's like, well, that's why podcasts are great. You can just do one of these.
I can tell you, Maz listened to a recent episode. He asked for a link to an episode 2 ago that I sent him, so he's listening.
The one Brock was on?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe after that.
And another
Brock's first
thing.
episode.
Yeah.
But it's also like we're sitting here right now. The only thing we can talk about is the off season. That's what we're, and it's like we can't.
And
every
we're saving
week I'm
it.
going to be like,
We don't even have rumors
yeah,
yet.
exactly.
Yeah.
We
Can't really sink our
Rumors.
teeth into that
Sure.
quite yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we need the whole fucking playoffs to happen.
We need, well, I think we'll be able to jump into interviews, which is, that saves us in the off season when things are slow moving.
Sure.
Tyler?
Are we locked into 2 during the off season? Have
No.
we cemented that or no?
Well, privately, Steve told me he definitely doesn't want to do 2 episodes. I will, because I would love if one was an interview episode and then one was just like a shooting the shit episode, and they don't have to be 3 hours. Like, that's the thing. Like, we can,
None of them do.
huh?
None of them ever do.
No. There's
but
definitely
even in
no
October-
requirement from anyone telling us that they have to be. They just kind of end up there. But what?
Like October will be so different than it was a year ago, where we were trying to figure out what was going to happen with the front office. It was like,
October, I would say just do 1, because like we're gonna be doing like nightly Baseball is Dead. Like once it gets to like the ALCS, NLCS World Series, like we do episodes like right after every game. So that ends up being a lot. But like once it's the off season, I mean, if you are a Section 10 fan, like a diehard, then you'll probably listen to us talk about anything. But I get the people that are just like, I just want the ball talking. Like, okay, that's fine too. So like you can have your, Will Fleming interview episode on Monday, and then on Thursday, it's like, yeah, like we'll talk about rumors for like 10, 15 minutes, but then like the last 30 minutes might be about a Mexican cruise. I don't know. All I know is that it helps the off season go by faster if we, and like it's just more content. I don't know. I feel like that's like when people were like pissing and moaning about like some of like the vlogs, and it's like, well, I don't care about NASCAR. It's like, then bitch, don't watch. Like you're still getting the same amount of podcasts. If you don't like NASCAR and you don't care about us going to NASCAR, no one said you had to watch the vlog. So you're still going to get your 2.5 hour. You just dropped that ball, Coley?
That's twice.
Yeah.
Hand
if
up.
if it's like you only care about that, then it's like we'll give you the normally scheduled programming from that you would come to expect from Section 10 in the off season, but then you might just get a dicking around episode just because we're bored. Why not?
Probably
but
dictate.
Steve has only contractually agreed to 1. So it could just be us. It could just be us. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I don't know. It's not something set in stone. I mean, I like talking to you guys. I have fun. It's a nice little escape for me. So
he does his 1 episode, and then we sign Corbin Burns and Max Fried. So he's like, hey, listen, you did your 1 this week, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. One and done, Steve.
That's it though. If you get an off season where they're like doing the damn thing and acting like they should, we're gonna want to record as much as possible. We'll be excited coming into every podcast.
Yeah, and they don't all have to be 3 hours. We could just the second.
We get
episode
Lou
of the
on, it's
week.
going to be 2.5 no matter what.
Well,
'cause
that
we're
one,
gonna
like,
be
you know,
going.
Yeah, if that's like the first episode of the week, like that's the Sox pod. But then there's just like a dicking around pod that week on Thursday. I don't know.
We can only talk about that. Like the free agents aren't going to change. It's going to be this. It's only going to dwindle. The list won't get bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. I would say it's undecided, but no one here. I mean, Steve, hard no from Steve.
Would rather die than record a second episode.
Yeah. He said, fuck you guys again. And he's only doing 1. But everyone else that's here, I'm in. And I'm not going to put anyone else on the spot to say yes right now, but I'm just mark me as in for 2 during the off season.
I think I put up for 4.
Cole, you're in for 2?
I was doing 4.
Yep. I'm going to be doing 2 solo pods a week, baby, with you guys.
Tyler's doing 4. I'm doing 2. Coley's doing 2. Steve's doing 1. Jake, how many are you doing?
I'll do 5. I don't care.
Fuck
Jake's
yeah,
doing
Jake.
I mean, technically, you probably would be. I don't even know what like the schedule is for baseball. I can't remember. What did we do last year? We didn't do 1 a week, did we? We did 1?
In the off season?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 a week.
All right. They might get competitive. Jay might stand up and be like, fuck you guys. If you're going to do 2, then we're going to do 2. I don't know. I may never have like a reduced off-season schedule, Coley.
If we have a seat open.
Oh, Jay and Steve spot? That would be cool. That'd be cool. I feel people would love that. People would love that. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Just saying.
I feel like Steve's gonna get upset listening to this.
No, he
He'll
said he
never
only
hear
wanted to
this.
do 1. We want to
He'll
do
never
2,
hear
and that's fine. We're not going to force him to do another one.
He doesn't like doing 2-hour podcasts. You think he's an hour 2:45 of this one?
No.
Right.
Yeah, no. No. Unless he has some sort of device that he just types in Steve to skip to the parts where Steve is mentioned, which I wouldn't put past him to have. It's like it just spits out all the timestamps where the name Steve is said on the pod.
There is a way to do that.
I'm sure there is.
Oh, for sure.
And he knows about it. He definitely knows about it.
You get the Steve software loaded up.
Steve software.
Steve bot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I could. Yeah. So he may listen to this and be like, you know what? 2 a week actually sounds fun.
He's going to have 4 with Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to do 4 with Tyler. Yeah. So I don't know. You tell us. Tweet us. Tweet the show at Steve_Peralt and be like, hey, we want 2 episodes a week in the off season. You know? It's up to you guys. It's on demand. If you guys are all Red Sox Section 10 out, I know there's a lot of Section 10 this year. You know, we had 2 podcasts a week. We had the vlog. We had the All-Star trip. We had Section 10 night here, Section 10 night there, Section 10 night everywhere. There's a lot of Section 10. I get it. You know, if you fucking pussies need a break,
Get him.
If you cavernous clams want a break,
Yeah.
you let us know.
Yeah, if you guys need a break, then you know it's fine. I get it. I'm not gonna take it personally. Yeah. Too
Gonna
much.
take this shit and like it.
Too
Fucking
much.
cowards.
Yeah. But you tell us. If you want it, we got it. But if you don't want it, that's fine too. I'll fuck off for the next 2 months. You just tell me. So, all right. We'll be back on, when does this godforsaken series end? What day? Today's Thursday. All right. So we'll be back on Sunday night, Monday morning to definitely wrap up that Minnesota Twins series at Fenway Park, where God knows what the weather is going to be. God only knows. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We love you guys. And we'll be there for you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.
Buenas noches, amigos.